Good morning, y'all. Hello. Reporting quick today. What is up? Durango. Precious things. Thank you. Good morning, guys. Hello. What's up? Good morning, Durango Soul. Gotta like that name. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We about to do it again. Y'all know this, man. This is the channel where you can watch an undereducated hick from Alabama perform an intellectual takedown of the Christian faith, doctrine, and logic for your entertainment. But also, hopefully, to make the world a better place. To combat the rise of this ridiculous Christian nationalism with the morning mommy, with the logic and reason, whatever role that sort of tool plays in the mind in reality, we'll try to throw it in there, won't we? And that's what we do here. We debate Christians and sometimes Hebrew Israelites. Those guys are something else, aren't they? Anyway, welcome back in. This is episode 104 on day 105. So, welcome in. Because you are unable to read and understand the differences? What? That's interesting. That's right. Thank you, yes. Hey, y'all know who the best friend of the channel is, don't you? It's Dr. Joshua Bowen, the man, the scholar of the channel who frequents us with his brilliance quite often, pretty much almost every day. This is pretty damn cool, ain't it? Pretty damn cool. Anyway, you can learn ancient Hebrew with me and with Dr. Josh, and you can do so for $29.95. You can get these books on Amazon. And you can support our best friend, Dr. Josh, and his amazing family. And also learn some amazing stuff from the Hebrew Bible scholar and PhD Assyriologist, Dr. Josh, our best big homie. And don't forget, Eric, my man, my dog. I appreciate you, buddy. And don't forget, this October in Huntsville, Alabama, it's going down, man. It's going down. The Rocket City Reason Conference is going down. You can meet some of the biggest, most famous names and atheist debaters and YouTubers and TikTokers that there are. And you can get your tickets for that at rocketcityreason.com. You can hang out with us for 3 whole days in a row. Maybe not me. I don't know if I can make it all 3 days. I'm going to try though. But either way, there's going to be some massive names there. Like everybody knows Thinker. Thinker's going to be there. Seth Andrews is the keynote speaker. Forrest Valkai is going to be there. Gutsick Gibbon, Black Atheist Rant. It's going to be amazing, y'all. It's going to be awesome. And if you can make it, we would love to have you, and we would love the support because this is North Alabama, and yikes for Alabama. So we need stuff like this. So y'all please come on and hang out with us. Now, with all the pleasantries out of the way, let's get started on day number 105, episode number 104. I gotta get used to saying that like that. All right, let's take it in. Okay. All right. Welcome in, everybody. The live's been fired up for 4 whole minutes now. We already got 31 people in. They're piling in this morning on me. I appreciate y'all. Good morning, Nick. What is going on? Good morning, everybody. Y'all know how TikTok rolls. The algorithm is creeping. For the first few minutes, we got to rub it. Give it a little jelly, get it moving a little bit this morning. A little slow on Thursdays. It hadn't had its Starbucks yet this morning. Not a demon, Dr. Fax. What up, y'all? Lublu Slaga, do you believe Jesus rose from the dead? No, I do not believe that. If I did, I would still be a Christian, but I'm not. So no, I do not believe that. That's a kind of a silly claim, really, but I get that 2 billion something people do believe it, and that's why I do the show. But anyway, it is time. Yep, we've hit the first few minutes. We got all the stuff out of the stuff. Oh yes, if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please help me out over there and throw me a subscription on my Apostate 2YouTube channel. I put these replays on there every day. While on the 2U, when you download these replays, you can't see all the fancy stuff in the comments and stuff. You can still hear all the stuff. Fast forward to the boring parts in between people and things and such as. Angry anti-theist. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. What up, y'all? What up, what up? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, everybody. Let's see what all we got. All right, cool. Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, we are good to go. We will get rocking and rolling as soon as we get our first guest up for the day, which I'm sure we'll get one, won't we? We always do. Oh, yeah. Over half the people in here is over nearly half the people watching right now are that's almost half the algorithm right now, so I don't know if that's good for the amount of people here, but bad for the algorithm. Or bad on the algorithm, I should say. That's cool, though. Well, what do y'all think we're going to get today? How many slavery apologists y'all reckon we'll get today? Seems like we've been averaging like at least one a day, which is pretty fucking scary, honestly. Because, I mean, like, I knew there was a few loons out there before I started this channel, but now that I've started the channel and we talk to as many people as we do, it blows my mind the number of people based on how many I thought, was out there that would just straight up come up here and say, yeah, slavery's fine. God says it's okay. It's okay. It's fucking kind of scary. Kind of scary, man. Not gonna lie, man. Kind of scary. Anyway. Yeah, they do, don't they? Anyway, where we at here? 6 minutes, baby. Been fired up for 6 whole minutes now. It seems to be about the average these days on the TikTok. We sit around for 10 or 15 minutes till we get our first guest, and then we rock and roll for the rest of the day, don't we? Oh my goodness. Yes, it was indentured servitude. It was the good kind of slavery, don't worry. It was God only allows good kinds of slavery. It's the good kind of slavery. Deuteronomy on the people's property is the good kind of slavery. The indentured kind, which isn't actually good. Argue. What's the good kind of slavery? Oh my God. Hey man, it's that's it's what religion does to the old head, unfortunately. But anyway, took a little more passive-aggressive topics today, I guess. Can you explain the problems with the Bible? Does God condone slavery? Is God unjust? Is there a prophecy Jesus actually fulfilled? These are the questions that we will be discussing today. And pretty much the questions we discuss every day. Sometimes I just switch them around and change the background, get a little all that stuff. Yes, precious context. Context. I don't know what context means, but it's in the context. I don't know what the context is, but I know you know about the context. That's yes, indeed. Anyway, let's get rocking and rolling. If you are a Christian or a Hebrew Israelite, please request on up. You can be the first guest of the day. Hell, if you're a cool one, you might be the only guest of the day. Who knows? We'll just talk the whole time. Don't even matter. Always with the always the context. Taking it out of context. Context. All right, 148. All right. TikTok's warming up a little bit now this morning, y'all. It's warming up a little bit. I appreciate all that screen tapping y'all doing. Y'all tapping the shit out of that screen already. Appreciate you guys. Queen, thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Ari, good morning. Good morning, all of y'all. What is up? Good morning. Hello. if you are a Christian coming through and you want to be the first guest of the day, talk about one of these topics, or maybe the only guest of the day. Hey, Queen. Hey, Ari. Hey, y'all. What's up? Good morning. Hello, everyone. If you are a Christian and you want to be the first guest of the day, we coincidentally need a first guest of the day, so come on up. And you can talk at us. JT, good morning. Hello. Howdy. How do? Welcome in, everybody. All right, we just hit 10 minutes finally. The last almost week and a half, it's took almost at least 10 minutes to get the first guest in here. So we should get one any minute now, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we? All right. Wizzy, good morning. It's one of the guests of honor. Good morning. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right. Well. All righty. The algorithm is moving a little bit better. So, even if I counted, I'd be boring. I don't know. If you're a believer, you wouldn't. If you actually, got some good conversation, that's all. Anybody likes, I reckon. It's all subjective. It's just like opinions, bro. Welcome in. Good morning, everybody. Hello. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right. Well, if you are a Christian or one of them Hebrew Israelites, hey, Weezy, come on in and holler at us. We need a first guest for today. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for all the interaction this morning. Moving right along on that algo now. Moving right along. No doubt we'll get a first guest going any minute here, I'm sure. Well, what do y'all reckon's going to happen today? We can, what do you think is going to be defended first? Slavery or bashing babies to pieces? It's the good kind of baby bashing, the merciful, loving kind. You bash the baby's head out. That's the merciful. Probably. If there's bet money, you got to go with statistic. That's the unjust one and the slavery one seems to come up the most often today. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right, y'all. All right. Well, maybe we got somebody to talk to here. We'll see. Let's see.
Hi, how are you doing? First of all, I'm not coming on here to disrespect anybody, but I just see the what it says in your background, and are you trying to debate basically like you're going against Jesus Christ right now?
Yeah, that's what we do here.
Why? Wasn't he a nice man? Didn't he treat everybody well?
I mean, I don't think he did. He called the woman, I can't remember, a Gentile. Well, it would have been a Gentile, but I can't remember it was a Gentile woman anyway. He called her a dog and said he wouldn't heal her daughter until she made a witty comment.
But you guys are crucifying a perfect man, but the president of the United States says far worse.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I don't like him either.
Jesus Christ didn't deserve to die on that cross. He was sent to die.
Yeah, but he committed blasphemy and sedition. So, I mean, he violated Roman and Jewish law, and he was crucified for it.
Dang. Well, I'm not here to argue, but it's
just for the it's all right, but just for the TikTok thing, you're over 18 and you're a Christian, right?
Yes, I'm over 18, and yes, I'm a Baptist Christian.
Okay, cool. Well, let me ask you something.
Why am I not?
Right. Yeah. So, do you think it's okay or morally acceptable that a woman be tried and executed for adultery because a man divorced her?
No, I don't think it's right.
Oh, well, you also don't like the teachings of Jesus because that's what Jesus said. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
You want me to read it for you?
Yeah, what verse is that?
That's Matthew 5, verse 31 and 32. It's from the Sermon on the Mount. And it says, "It was also said, whoever divorces his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce." That's in the actual law. That's from Deuteronomy 24. And it says, "But I say to you, anyone who divorces his wife, except on the grounds of sexual immorality, causes her to commit adultery. And whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery." So this is saying if a man marries a divorced woman, he is guilty of adultery and will be executed as such. And except if it's sexual immorality, if a man divorces a woman, he causes her to commit adultery. So you can be stoned
Well,
to
what verse was
unalivement
that? Because I want
because
to
a man.
ask my the lady at my church who helps me study the Bible about this because I'm not saying I'm very open minded and I do have questions, so that does make me open an eye.
Yeah, all this stuff Jesus is saying isn't the perfect stuff that most people think it is. I don't think. But yeah, this is Matthew chapter 5, verse 31 and 32. This is Jesus himself on the Sermon of the Mount, on the Sermon on the Mount.
Verse what?
Verse 31 and 32. "But I say to you, anyone who divorces his wife, except on the grounds of sexual immorality, causes her to commit adultery. And whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery." It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I don't know how to even
Did,
rebuttal that because I don't know. That's something, I would have to go into the lady that helps me study, my class leader, and see what she says about this. Maybe she can
well, I mean,
enlighten
what do
me.
you think? Like, if Jesus is clearly saying here, is unless there's sexual immorality, if a guy just decides he wants a divorce, if he don't like his wife or whatever, and he divorces her, she is guilty of adultery because he divorced her, no fault of her own.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you.
And then the people in the comments, you guys are no better. What if I'm just here to educate myself? You guys are ignorant. I don't see
Oh,
anybody else. Yeah, I don't see
don't listen to
nobody
the
else
comments.
getting up on the panel trying to educate
They're,
themselves or be open minded. I didn't come on here to disrespect anybody.
we don't think you did. Don't listen to them. They're all psychos. So they're all psychotic down there. They're just crazy topic right now. Anyway, did you know Jesus chastises the Pharisees in Mark chapter 7 and Matthew chapter 15 for not putting their disobedient children to death?
That's why they didn't like him in the Bible, huh?
Well, probably got something to do with it, even though that was the law. They weren't keeping it. You don't think it's okay to put disobedient children down, do you?
Heck no. I wouldn't put my kids down.
Yeah, me
They would
neither.
have been down if that was the case.
Well, Jesus don't have any problem with that.
I'm gonna go ahead
In
and
fact,
show
he
my
says
son
you're
that Bible
supposed to do it.
verse.
Shit. All right, hold on a second. Which one is it? Rebellious children. It says, if someone has a stubborn and rebellious son who will not obey his father and his mother, who does not heed them when they discipline him, then his father and his mother shall take hold of him and bring him out to the elders of this town at the gate of that place. And they shall say to the elders of this town, the son of ours is stubborn and rebellious, who will not obey us. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Then all the men of the town shall stone him to unalivement. So you shall purge the evil from your midst, and all Israel will hear and be afraid. And Exodus, what's that? Exodus verse 21, verse 17. Whoever curses father and mother shall be put to unalignment.
But isn't that like the Old Testament?
Yeah.
So it doesn't like that doesn't matter anymore, doesn't it? Like when it's the Old
Why,
Testament.
why would you say that?
If I'm not wrong, I thought the Old Testament doesn't matter anymore.
No, but in that Sermon on the Mount, the one we was just reading from with like the laws concerning divorce and stuff, in verse 17 through 20, I think it is, Jesus explicitly says you have to follow all the laws of Moses to get, or you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So Jesus is explicitly saying you have to keep the law, and he says if you don't keep it better than the teachers and the Pharisees, then you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So in order to get to heaven, you have to throw the rocks at them kids there with the rest of the town and purge the evil from your midst if they declare that they have a stubborn and rebellious son.
Oh, it says it right there, Mark 7, verse 9 to 13. Dang, I need to do some more research on these and educate myself, because I don't think we know all the answers anyway.
Well, I mean, Jesus is pretty clear on this stuff. I mean, Jesus says himself, it says, do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish, but to fulfill. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until all is accomplished. So Jesus is saying, until heaven and earth pass away, not one dot is going to change from that law. Even though he changed a bunch of laws and actually made them already crappy laws a lot worse, but like that divorce one.
So, are
Like
you
there's
an
no,
atheist?
yeah, I'm an atheist now.
So you don't
I was a
believe
Christian
like
until I
there's
was
a
almost 30
God?
years old, though. No. But even if I did still believe in this God and I was a theist, no way I'm worshiping this God. This is horrible, horrible stuff in here. Like the divorce thing. Like if you read Deuteronomy, it don't say nothing about a woman being guilty of adultery if a man divorces her. It just says if you divorce somebody, give her a certificate so she can marry somebody else. Then here comes Jesus along saying, "Hey, screw all that. If a man remarries her, he's an adulteress. Like this, he's made this 10 times worse. And that was actually not even that bad of a law. It was preventing divorce. Doesn't seem very profound of Jesus.
Doesn't seem really nice.
No, it's messed up. In fact,
Seems a bit harsh.
did you know? Have you ever heard? You ever read John, the Gospel of John?
Yeah, I've read a few chapters in it to learn about Jesus a little bit more.
Did you know Jesus says in John that no one has ever seen God but him?
Yeah, they say that his presence would be too, like, strong for us.
Well, listen to this. This is from Exodus chapter 24. It says, Then Moses, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel. Under his feet were something like a pavement of sapphire stone, like the very heaven of clearness. God did not lay his hand on the chief men of the Israelites, but they beheld God, and they ate and they drank. So right here, there's almost 75 people that see God.
Oh, you're basically
Not to
saying it
mention,
contradicts itself.
yeah.
It
Well, I'm saying if
does.
Jesus is this special guy who's like, especially if you think Jesus is God, like it's awfully confusing that Jesus seemed to have forgot that literally a ton of people in the Old Testament all see God. Jacob straight up says in Genesis 32 that he saw God face to face and lived. Says Moses spoke to God face to face
Yeah, I
in the
was gonna
tent,
say,
like he was
I
talking
thought
to a friend.
Moses seen not Jesus, God's back in the Bible.
Moses?
Yeah, I think Moses did see God in the Bible.
Yeah, he did. It says he talked to him in a tent face to face. And right here it says 74 people at once. It literally says, this is the words right here. It says, and they saw the God of Israel. They saw him. Jesus also says that no one has ascended into heaven except the one who descended from heaven. He's talking about him. Did he forget that Elijah got taken up to heaven?
And
Elijah literally ascended to heaven.
yeah, I was just gonna say that there's a few people in the Bible that got to go to heaven without death.
Right. Jesus just like forgot, just was it a mistake?
Yeah, I do see the contradicting stuff.
Right. Yeah. There's literally all kinds of problems with all this stuff. There's moral problems, there's contradiction problems. I mean, there's textual
Do you go
problems.
live every day?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like join in and like I'm not saying that like oh I'm trying to be converted, but I like to be open minded and just hear different things.
Right.
But
Well,
yeah,
you want to know if it's true, don't you?
yeah, of course nobody will know
Exactly.
until
Well, I mean, if you stay on here and listen, you're eventually going to hit the point. You're like, all right. I mean, they're just going to have to say this is a faith-based position, and I'm just taking all this on faith and disregarding all the problems. Or you're going to have to acknowledge all the problems eventually. You know what I mean? Especially if you stay around here and you keep hearing the problems because they are numerous and they are large, and we haven't even gotten to like really, really bad stuff in this conversation anyway. Even though the divorce thing is pretty
I'm
bad in
gonna
my opinion.
now they're saying W thank you guys now. Now they're being nice.
That's right. W for the guest there, yeah.
All right, thank you though. I'll be checking in and out. I really do appreciate you not like coming on me so hard.
Yeah, no problem. If you do talk to your priest or pastor about this, come back and let us know what she says. I
I
think we'd be all
am. I
curious
am.
to hear that.
I am. I'm gonna ask her about this and see what she says to help me understand. Because I'm gonna just tell her, like I don't understand this. What does this even mean? And hopefully, because there are a bunch of women in the church house, and some of them are divorced. So let's see what they have to say. And I think the pastor is
Right,
actually
well,
divorced. Actually,
yikes.
so let's just see.
Well, like I said, if you do ask her about this, like I ain't saying you gotta like go crazy on her or press or anything, but read the words of this passage really, really careful. Make sure you know exactly what this is saying, and then ask her about it, and see if she gives you a straight answer or not, or if she even seems to know address what the words in this passage
Yeah, I
are
don't want
actually
to run
saying.
around. I don't want to run around. I don't want circles. I want to know.
There you go. There you go.
I'll
Like I
join
said,
back in.
unfortunately, there's a lot worse stuff than this in there, but just start with that one. That'd be a good start point for
You're
you.
gonna get me
Nice and
kicked out of my church.
easy.
They're gonna be like,
Right.
can't come back.
Hey, you never know. If they kick you out, though, we'll take you in here in the Church of the Ape.
All right, have a nice morning.
Back at you. You too. Thank you. Good luck with the question there.
No.
I'll drop you back there. Oh, well, you got it. All right. Let's see here. Oh, never mind. Thought we had another one requested up, but we don't. Anyway, Christians, come on in, come on through. Or Hebrew Israelites too, I guess. Forget about them sometime. I forget everything. Yeah. Yeah, you can, I mean, it's pretty easy to tell when somebody's being honest, you know what I mean? Has got a genuine concern, questions or concerns or whatever, and then people is obviously just BSing their way through conversations. Damn. Yikes. All right, well, let's see where we're at. Well, the algorithm is definitely moving this time. I wonder what the difference is. It's definitely more than yesterday. Anyway, if you are a Christian coming through, please come on up and have a conversation with us here. Debate or conversate. Conversate means to engage in conversation. If you use a more, I'm not even sure it'd be a more proper term to the way I meant it, but if you say converse, that means you're talking to somebody. But I would say engage in conversation, which is my one rule here. That's why this is the most fitting, and also it rhymes. So So yeah, there's that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, good morning, everybody. We're barely half an hour in yet. Got one win already today. That was a good little tidbit of information passed around there. Let's go now. Let's run from this one. It's been a great show. We'll see everybody later. We're gonna take our W and run today. I'm just kidding. We're not leaving. What is up, everybody? Hello. If you are a Christian or one of the Hebrew Israelites, which is, I've only ever talked to one female Hebrew Israelite. The rest have all been guys. But either way, if y'all want to talk about one of these good old topics up here, we would love to talk to you and have a good old conversation there. I'm surprised we haven't got somebody else requested up yet, because now the TikTok's algorithm's moving pretty damn juicily. Pretty juicily there. Goodness gracious. Well, come on up, come on in, come on through. I'm sure we'll get us somebody to talk to here before long, I reckon. Yeah, we're really just getting started. And the algorithm is sort of moving, so. Oh, there's the repentant heart every day, fella. Show you what? I just saw it said, show me, host. What you want me to show you? What you trying to hear? What you want to see? I'll show you something. Yeah. I love the Word of God too. It's funny. Except when it's not funny. You know what I'm saying? I do not believe in divinity. Whatever you mean by that. If you mean it in some sort of supernatural fashion, no, I do not. Yes, I saw the question. That's why I repeated it and asked you what you wanted to see. So telling me I saw the question doesn't answer what I just asked you about your said question. Yeah. Trump is well, he ain't no Antichrist. He's just a corrupt sack of shit. But, yeah, there's that. Yeah. My Bible is open and ready to go. Yes. I just let them spam in there sometimes, unless it's crazy annoying and it don't hurt nobody. About the algo there, maybe. Which is taken away. Taken away. What we at here? The last prophet, like a Muhammad. Police be upon him. Welcome in, everybody. We're waiting on another guest here. We have a bit of a hole, even though the algorithm's moving pretty decently. We have a bit of a gap in the guest to come up. Anyway, if you are a Christian or Israelite, come on up. We want to debate or conversate, whatever you feel like. Thank you, Henry. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you for the reposts there. Appreciate them. It's help a lot. We'll get this old algo moving. Gotta get somebody else in here to talk to. That's only a few minutes. What is up? What is up? Come on through. Come on in. And let's begin. Y'all know we'll get another slavery apologist in here at some point. That's always fun. Read some Hebrew for you. I guess I could do that. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let me spout off the. It's been a while since I did the Hebrew alphabet. I hadn't done that in a while. Then maybe we'll try some words. That'd be neat. Let me make sure nobody's in here first. Okay, yeah. Still empty. Okay. I'm going to cover my eyes so everybody knows I ain't looking at nothing. Alright. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav. What's after Vav? Zion, Het, Tate, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Thamik, Ayin, Pei. Sorry, I started itching. Pei, Sonic, Kof, Reish, Sin, Sheen, and Tav. Yeah, you did it. Getting pretty fluid with those. If I do it in my head, I can wrap them right off. I don't even gotta think about it anymore. Alright, let me see. Where'd the words get to? I haven't even tried a whole lot of word pronunciation here. Melech. It means king. The king. Nagi. Thank you, Peer. Appreciate that. Oh, I thought I had a guess, but I don't. What's some other words here? Ben means son. Amar. He said. Yom. That means day. Kol, all, and every. It can also appear as. Kind of weird, like when you're reading English, you go left to right, and then you get to the Hebrew word, you go over and start back, and then jump back. It's the difference in reading Hebrew and English when they're mixed together. So that would be. Oh, let's go to doggish. Yeah, the little vav with the dot thing that makes a O or U sound or whatever, that one messes me up when I see it. So that one, what would that one be? Call? Oh, yeah, that is call. Oh, I just read it. I was about to say, I didn't think that was the word I was on. Lo, Melech, Haya, Bu, Et, Edits, Yisrael, that means Israel. It actually starts with a Y. How about that? Y sound. Ki, Al, El, Asha, Ha, Ashir, that, or which, Bu. Ooh, I like that. That means no in Japanese. In, with, by, Lu, 2, 4. I'm sure you don't say Lu in Hebrew like that. But anyway, yeah, that is fun. I gotta do more word pronunciation. Get them all those top things in there. All right. Dwight. Jesus' real name is Dwight. And God's real name is Harold, if y'all didn't know that. God's actual name is Harold. And we know that because when they say that prayer, what does it say? Our Father who art in heaven, Harold be thy name. So clearly his name is Harold, right? That's got to be it, yeah. Appreciate that lift. Let's see, this algorithm's moving, but I guess we're going to struggle to get somebody to talk to again today. Excuse me. Good morning, left. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We've been on for a minute now, but it's been 10 minutes since our last guest, and we haven't got another request yet. So, if you're a Christian and you want to talk at us, come on through. Oh my goodness. I'm making money on the stock market going down today. Yeah. I didn't know I was a trader either, did you? Ain't looking pretty. Yeah, where the Christians is, or Hebrew Israelites. I'm not even sure I knew Hebrew Israelites were a thing until I got on TikTok. I had no idea. Never heard of that. What do you call that? Sect? branch. Something. But yeah, come on through. I don't know what's happening. The algorithm's actually moving a little more decent than usual. Still trying to having a bit of a hard time. I guess someone don't want to explain the problems in the Bible. Is that the case? Is that what's happening? Is that what's going on? The nerve of this guy. Some people's funny. Well, Christians, come on up here and give us a conversation if you like. Need somebody to talk to. I don't know what's happening today. 11 minutes. Almost 12 minutes. Almost 12 minutes. And we lack an opponent to debate. Which is pretty strange. I don't really know it for these days, I guess. It's kind of strange, though, because the algorithm's moving pretty good. Can't never tell, y'all. Can't never tell shit. It does seem like especially the last few days, though, toward the first little bit here, it seems like it's harder to get somebody to talk to than toward the end there. Don't know why, though. Don't know why. I hope the one first guest comes back, though, and tells us what her church person says about this. Deuteronomy 13. Oh, yeah. We love Deuteronomy 13. I will read it, though. If prophets or those who divine by dreams appear among you and show you omens or portents, and the omens or the portents declared by them take place, and they say, let us go follow other gods, whom you have not known. Let us serve them. You must not heed the words of these prophets or those who divine by dreams, for the Lord your God is testing you to know whether you indeed love the Lord your God with all your heart. It's a test, y'all. There's tests here. You have to pass them. God tests people. He's a tester. You're an all-knowing tester. It's kind of weird. It says, if a prophet speaks in my name and it don't come true, they're not a prophet. Here it says, if a prophet speaks in my name and it does come true, but they say it's about another God, then it's the same difference. So, like, you can... yeah. So you can get false prophecies that don't happen. You can get false prophecies or false prophecies that do happen. So this is all really confusing. God isn't always straightforward with his subjects. Man, Deuteronomy 13 is rough though, man. Glad we live in America. Sometimes. Well, when it comes to this, let's put it that way. All right, maybe we got somebody here. Sweet tea. Let's get in there. Sweet tea, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey, you over 18?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. Are you one of the Christians or Hebrew Israelites?
I guess I fall in between both of them.
What what does that mean? Where's the in the middle?
I accept Christ as Lord Savior, but I also believe a lot of the Hebrew Israelite teachings.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, which one of these topics you want to talk with us about today?
It doesn't really matter. You say you're a former Christian, so I just figured talk to a brother.
Cool. Well, you can pick one, whichever one you feel the most, or feel the strongest about, or have the most experience on debating or
Well,
conversating about.
I'll be honest, I don't really have much experience on debating any of them. So, which one do you think is the strongest one that pulled you away from the faith?
Well, kind of all these really, but God being unjust was the big one.
Alrighty. What would you? What's an example of God being unjust to you?
Well, there's a bunch of them. Would you disagree with me there that God is unjust, and you would disagree and say God is just?
I'd say he is just. We don't have to
Uh,
agree with his judgment, but I do believe he is just.
okay. Well, would you worship God if he was unjust?
I don't think it's possible for him to be unjust, and I'm basing that off of the scripture. I believe it's Paul saying that who are you to tell a potter that he can't make one vessel for trash and another one for glory, decoration. So if God created all things, he can literally do with us whatever he wants.
So you don't think so? There's basically no scenario where God could be unjust because God can just do whatever God wants to do.
Basically, it's like if you had a dog and you decide to keep him on a leash, but I was like, hey, you should keep that dog inside. He's a small dog. He's not my dog. He's yours.
Right. So, you know that Abraham held God to a standard of justice in Genesis chapter 18, right?
Yeah.
So if
Is
he
that the one
violated that,
where he asked
it would not be
God
just, right?
if there be just one just man in the city, will you spare it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's asking God, he's saying, certainly you, the creator of all the universe, wouldn't do something unjust, would you? And he's like, no, of course not.
Yeah. I mean,
So if I can show you where he does violate that, that would make him unjust, right?
I would concede to the point you're making.
Oh, okay.
I was just
So
trying to
like
help you
in
understand, my viewpoint.
yeah, that's fine. So in Deuteronomy it says the sons will not be put to death for the sin of the father, and the father will not be put to death for the sin of the son, right?
Yes.
All right. In 2 Samuel 12, David grapes Bathsheba, and they have a son, and then he gets Uriah the Hittite, her husband, unalived, and God gets very angry about this.
Right. I like to
And one of the
clarify that it was not,
punishments,
the R word. It was consensual between the two of them.
no, I don't
I
think
haven't read a
so.
verse that says that, Bathsheba cried out or she fought against him and didn't want it to happen.
Yeah, but he was the king, though.
Yeah, he was the king. How many women would cheat on their husbands with Michael Jordan? Because he's, hypergamy.
I don't know, but I'm just saying when the king of Israel says, "I want to sleep with you," it takes away a lot of your consent. You can't necessarily just say no to certain people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would disagree with that argument. It's the same argument people make where they say,
Okay.
that where a husband makes more than his wife, it creates a power imbalance. I think it can apply in some cases, but just based off of what the Bible provides us on the subject, I would not say that it was not, non-consensual.
Okay, fair enough. I'll accept that for now. So, what about this part? So, one of the punishments goes to not David, it goes to the infant child. And God
Hmm.
unalives the child after making it sick for a week, even though this baby was clearly innocent of any wrongdoing.
Hmm.
So, if God says it's unjust to put to death the son for the sin of the father, then that's exactly what God is doing right here. It says, the Lord struck the child whom Uriah's wife bore to David, and it became very ill. And 7 days later, it dies.
Right. Well, the law that you're given was for us to follow. I believe it's a later on prophecy where God says that he himself will no longer judge the father for the sins of the sons for the sins of the father or the father for the sins of the son. But in Deuteronomy, which you're reading, that was a law for us. It wasn't a law that God said he's holding himself to.
Oh, so we have a standard of justice, and God violates it, but it don't count for him.
No, because the standard that God gives to us mortals is going to be totally different. God is omnipotent, all knowing, omniscience, or whatever you call it.
So you're
So
basically saying whatever God does is good and just, right?
I would say I trust in God enough to believe that what he's doing is good and just.
What about when you know it's not good and just?
How would I know? I'm just a mortal.
Well, I mean, do you think unalive and innocent babies is unjust?
In God's eyes, yes, because to him, this
No,
life,
no, in your
we're,
eyes.
and even in my eyes, because even in this life, we're going to die eventually. But it's probably better for a baby to die than it is for a grown man to die because the baby's innocent. It's instantly going to glory. As opposed to if a 60-year-old man dies, all his sins are going to be there. So it's
Oh,
kind of maybe a mercy. You have to
oh,
understand
damn.
that,
So
we
you
our
like
situ-
abortion then, right?
I'm not pro-abortion.
Why not? The babies get a free pass to heaven. It's a mercy. They
Hey,
don't have to go through this shitty life.
I think it's a valid argument, and if you really tried to press me on it, I don't really uh, have a scripture that really says that you can't unalive your child. It's just my personal belief that you shouldn't. But I don't honestly think it's a sin for a mother to unalive her child. It depends on the scenario.
Oh, wow. Okay. Dang. Okay, so when God unalives a child, it's just God being merciful, right?
Sure. Well, I ain't saying it's merciful. He's obviously judging the father in this case of David.
Yeah, well, I mean, what about the baby? He made the baby sick for a week.
Yeah, baby's in heaven. So I'm saying that in the eyes of God,
Why'd he
it's not
make it
this.
suffer
It's not
first?
this huge, horrible thing. Ugh,
Why'd
excuse
he
me.
make it suffer first? Why'd he make the
Uh,
baby suffer first?
I think you're what's the word? I'm kind of grasping at straws. You know, the baby suffered. The baby has a cold. It's not that bad. We don't go into details that the baby is breaking out in hives and is crying all the
Oh,
time because
okay.
it's
Well,
just
does the scripture say the baby had a cold, or does it
well,
say it
it just says
became
the baby
very
got the baby
ill?
became very ill. But you're
Yeah.
automatically assuming that
Does
this
very
illness
ill
is
usually
something like
qualify as a cold?
very ill. All right, I'll admit I was being minimizing your argument. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is it only says that the baby was ill. There are several kinds of illnesses that could kill you. Not all of them
Well, it said
requires for
very
you to be
ill.
suffering and having a head cold or cold chills, hives, and all these things. There's no evidence that the baby suffered in some kind of great deal.
It says it became very
It
ill.
became very ill.
Should we assume that was a pleasant experience?
We should assume that he got sick. Would you argue that
Very sick.
every form of illness that can kill you, has discomfort to it, or can sometimes you be ill and not even know it and just drop dead, and then you find out, oh man, apparently he's been having a heart attack for like the last 3 days. Didn't even know it.
Well, if you don't feel ill, then you're not actually ill, or you don't feel very ill.
That isn't a very scientific argument because we know that you can be ill and not show symptoms of the illness. You can still die from the
Oh,
illness without any symptoms of the illness.
okay. So science is important in these contexts here.
To a lot of people, it is. If it helps my argument, I use it.
Wow. Okay. So what about all these other babies that God has bashed to pieces?
What about 'em? Like you have to give me an example.
Okay. Isaiah chapter 13. In
Hmm.
verse 16, it says, their infants will be dashed to pieces before their eyes, their houses will be plundered, and their wives will be raped. This
So
is
is this a
God
prophecy,
commanding.
or is this a prophecy, or is this God, giving the Israelites instructions of something to do?
This is God commanding the Medes to destroy Babylon.
So again, is this God actually giving a prophecy of what's going to happen to Babylon, or is this God literally talking to me to say, go over there and bash those babies against the concrete?
Yeah, it's God
Because
commanding them to do it.
it is not. That is a prophecy of God warning the Babylonians of what's about to happen to them.
Really.
Yes.
Now, how come it says, I myself have commanded my consecrated ones?
As in, this is God saying that I put out the order, they're going to invade you in the same way. And
When God is this God commanding them?
is God all right? In that verse, is the prophet even talking to Medes or is he talking to Babylonians?
He's, he's talking to the Israelites, but
All right,
he's
so
saying,
God is
this
not
is
talking
God.
to the Medes.
This
This
is
is
God
God saying
talking
this
to
is
the Medes.
this is God talking, and saying this is what's about to happen. God isn't talking
Yeah,
directly
he's
to the
saying,
Medes and saying,
I
go forth and do this
myself have
thing.
commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly exalting ones, to execute my anger. God is commanding them to execute his anger.
I think you're having a problem with understanding the difference between God actually giving a command and then the poetic license when a prophet is saying, this is what's about to happen to you.
Did,
Because as I pointed out, the prophet isn't talking to the Medes. He isn't, there is no one in the Bible where God is sitting, for example, let's say he's sitting Samuel to go talk to the Medes and say, go do this thing. That's not what's happening in this verse. God is talking to the Israelites and saying, this is about to happen. And that, yeah, he
it says,
says, I gave
myself, that's God, right? I myself is God,
judgment.
right?
Yeah.
I myself have commanded my consecrated ones.
Hey. All right, so he have given them the authority and told
myself,
them, or he hasn't. I myself
have commanded. Have commanded.
All right.
He's commanding them.
So are you
the
saying,
word commanded
so
is literally there?
All right. So are you saying that God literally sent the prophet to the Medes and told them to do this thing?
Absolutely.
Well, you have to show me the verse where that happens. Otherwise, it's just
there's
your
a whole
interpretation.
chapter right here where it's happening. It's literally what it says.
You've already admitted that he's in this chapter you're reading. He's not talking to the Medes. You have to show me a verse of God
commanding
talking.
The Medes. He is talking to the Medes.
No, he is not. All right, in the verse, let's just read the verse again. But I want you to go like 5 verses back and let's see exactly who he's talking about, or who's talking to
don't
who.
go 5 verses before that. This is Isaiah, a prophet of God, right? This is God's words coming out of Isaiah's mouth.
All right.
Right. All right. I myself have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly exalting ones, to execute my anger. Listen, a tumult on the mountains as a great multitude. Listen, an uproar of the kingdoms of nations gathering together. The Lord of hosts is mustering an army for battle. They come from a distant land, from the end of the heavens, the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole earth. Well, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come like destruction from the Almighty. Like, this is literally saying God is commanding. This is a proclamation against Babylon from God. He is literally commanding the Medes to do all this.
All right.
Let's see. Which one?
No, this is God saying this is God saying that this is about to happen. In the same way, are you familiar with
He's commanding it to happen. It's
are you
proclamation.
Are you familiar with when God was ready to kill Ahab?
Yeah.
What was the process that happened?
He lied to him.
All right. So did God send a prophet to Ahab to warn him of the truth? Right? That
no,
hey, if you go to this battle,
lie to him.
No, he put lies in the advisors, but he sent a prophet to actually tell him the truth that if you go to battle, you're going to die. And Ahab was so upset with the prophet telling him the truth that he threw the man in jail and said that he's not to be released until he returns from battle, which of course, sadly, he did not return from battle. He died. But my point is,
God lied to him to entice him so he could unalive him. He lied to him so he could kill
exactly.
him.
Not through the prophet, he did the advisors, the king.
It literally through the prophet. It literally said the Lord has put a lying spirit in the mouth of us.
When we go to the story, when we go to this, actually, you might be right on this. But if I think about it,
I know I'm right on this.
Yeah, I think you might be. But my point is that what this verse is saying in Isaiah.
God's a liar.
Yeah, as I said, what our standards of morality are for us. They're not for God. God can do whatever he wants because he is God.
Right, yeah.
So just like the same way, it's unjust. We and you both agree that what happened to Job was unjust, right?
You ever read Isaiah chapter 45?
Of course, I've read the whole Bible.
Oh, so you know that Cyrus is a Mede, right?
Cyrus, yes.
Do you know Cyrus is the one and only named Messiah in the entire book of Isaiah?
Persians, yeah. I'm sorry, say again? My audio clicked out.
I said, do you know that he's the one and only named Messiah in the entire book of Isaiah?
That Cyrus is the one and only named Messiah?
Yeah.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Well, he is. And God uses Cyrus to destroy Babylon and free the exiles, rebuild Jerusalem, and lay the foundations of the temple, right?
Yep, that happens.
Yeah. God makes this all happen, right?
Yeah, God decrees it, and it happens.
Well, there you go. That's God ordering the Medes through Cyrus to destroy Babylon. And he's ordering babies
God,
to be bashed to pieces and women raped.
I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say. Can you show me a verse where God literally speaks to Cyrus and says, "Go do this thing"?
Yep. I can show you a
Okay,
whole bunch
pull it
of
up
them,
then. Show me.
actually.
Show
I
me
got
where
you.
God literally talks
Isaiah
to Cyrus and says, "Go destroy
I'm on it right now. I'm ready to go.
the Medes and
Yep.
bash their babies."
I'm doing it right now.
Go for
Isaiah
it.
chapter 45. For the sake of my servant Jacob and Israel, whom I have chosen, I call you by name. I give you title, though you do not know me. He's talking about Cyrus right now. It
So
says,
he
I
just
am the
said you do not
Lord.
know me. So he's not really talking. He's talking about Cyrus, but he's not talking to
Just
Cyrus.
hold on. Yes, he is. Just hold on a second. I wasn't done. For the sake of my servant Jacob and Israel, my chosen, I'll call you by name. I'll give you title, though you do not know me. I'm the Lord, and there is no other. Besides me, there is no God. I arm you, though you do not know me.
Mm-hmm.
I have aroused Cyrus in righteousness, and I will make all his paths straight. He shall build my city and set my exiles free, not for price or reward, says the Lord of hosts. For thus says the Lord, the wealth of Egypt and the merchandise of Cush and the Sabaeans, tall of stature, shall come over to you and be yours. They shall follow you. They shall come over in chains and bow down to you. They will make supplication to you, saying, God is with you alone, and there is no other. There is no God besides him. Truly, you are a God who hides himself, O God of Israel, the Savior. All of them are put to shame and confounded. The makers of idols go in disgrace together. But Israel is saved by the Lord with everlasting salvation. They shall never again be put to shame or confounded. That's literally God using Cyrus to destroy Babylon.
Yes, I agree with you that God used Cyrus to destroy Babylon the same way God used Babylon to destroy Israel, the same way God used the Assyrians to destroy,
Okay, so why are you saying God didn't command them to do this?
I said that God never directly told them in detail what to do. That when Isaiah is speaking about the
What does it
babies
matter
being
if he
bashed,
directly told him what to do? He used them for his purposes. God
yes,
made
he
all
used it
this
for their
happen.
purposes. The same way in the book
His purpose to
of,
have babies bashed to pieces and women raped.
in the same way, when Elijah, no, not Elijah, probably, I think it was Elisha, baptized the general of Assyria, and then he began to weep because God showed him all the horrible things that would happen to Israel at the hands of this general. So God
That
had
God makes
ordained
happen.
the general to do it, but God never directly commanded the general to do anything.
Well, he commanded the Medes to destroy Babylon.
And again, can you show me where God has sent Isaiah, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach,
I've
Abednego, or
showed
any
you
of the
several
prophets?
times
You
already.
did
I'm
not.
pretty sure
You
you're
showed
just
me
in
God.
denial at this
You
point.
showed me Isaiah giving a prophecy because several times in the verse it said things
No
like,
shit.
"You
God
don't know
does not
me."
come down and speak this stuff
It talked
himself. He
about
speaks
Cyrus
through
in the third
prophets. This whole
person.
book is
Yes,
being spoken
he
through
speaks, and that's
prophets.
why I'm asking you: show me a prophet standing face to face with Cyrus and saying, "This is what the Lord commands you to do."
That's not how it works. Why
That's
would you
not
want to see
that
that?
works. It works like that all the time in the Bible.
Okay, so you don't. Well, do you just
like
are
when
you in
like when the
denial of the
prophet
words or
like when
what?
the prophet
You're
Samuel told
you're
Solomon, see, look,
contradicting yourself
no, see,
left
look,
and right
this would have
here,
been a better
man.
example for you.
Hey,
I'm gonna play
listen,
devil's advocate
can
and
you
give you
just
an
calm
answer.
down for a
I'm gonna
second?
give you an example.
Can you just calm down? Listen,
I'm,
calm down.
okay, I'm calm.
You're
I'm gonna
not
give
paying
I'm
attention to
gonna
the
play
words.
I'm
You're
gonna play devil's
contradicting
advocate.
yourself. Listen, you're
I'm gonna
gonna
play
have to
devil's
stop.
advocate and give you an actual example of what you're trying to say and what I'm asking for. The prophet
You mean what
Samuel,
Isaiah says?
what?
You mean what Isaiah says?
No. In the book of
Then what
Samuel,
are you talking about?
listen to me. I'm playing devil's advocate and I'm giving you an example you can actually use. In the Bible, the prophet Samuel goes directly to King Saul. It says, "You are to destroy this nation, and you are to kill the men, the women, the children, and anything with the breath of life in it." See, that is God giving a
Yeah.
direct command for Solomon to do something. For Saul to do something. You don't have that example when it comes to Isaiah talking about what
I
Cyrus is about to do.
myself have commanded my
Yes, I
consecrated
myself have
ones. I have
commanded.
summoned my warrior. Like, in the world you're saying God is not commanding this is beyond me, because
No.
I've literally read to you 20 times now where it says God is commanding this.
All right, let's break
He's
it down.
commanding them.
I'm gonna ask the question
It's God's
slowly.
day of anger.
I'm gonna ask you the question slowly. Can you show me? You heard that part? A prophet of God. You heard that part?
Isaiah?
Standing in front of Cyrus.
He doesn't stand in front of Cyrus. That's not how it works.
That's my point. That's the point I've been making for this last 3 blocks
And
I've been walking.
you're trying to dance around the fact that doesn't need to be made.
What? Because there's a huge difference between God saying,
Who
"Bash
is
these babies
arming
against a brick,"
Cyrus?
and
Who
God saying, "This is
arming
what's about to happen."
Cyrus? Who is arming Cyrus and Isaiah? Who arms him?
Yes, God does these things.
God
But-
did it. Wow.
Yeah, God
you
says,
did it.
I'm turning their.
Can you
I'm
put
turning,
that link in your brain right
putting-
now and realize this is God arming Cyrus?
I've been
He's
realizing.
arming
I've been
the Medes.
admitted this.
He's
I don't know why.
commanding the
I don't
Medes.
understand what you're not. What the disconnect that there is a difference.
The
All right.
disconnect is you're
No.
trying to weasel out of God doing this by saying God
Why
is not
would I? I already
directly
gave you.
commanding
I already
Cyrus
gave you an
himself,
example of
but
God
it doesn't
telling
even
someone
matter.
directly to kill men, women, and children. It's a better example
Yeah, he
than
does
what you're
that
trying
all
to
the
use.
fucking time.
Yes, but in this example you're trying to use,
Yeah, and
he
you don't
didn't.
give a shit. We all know it. That's just
Yeah, I
God
don't.
being God.
What?
I know.
Yeah, but this
We
example
know
you're
you don't
using
actually
is
give
not
a
the right
shit.
one.
Yeah.
I'm actually helping you out.
No, you're not. You're making yourself look even worse over and over again.
Well, maybe I
Because
am,
you're
but
not having a basic understanding of basic words.
I don't
here.
think you're having a basic understanding because I clearly gave you a better example of what you're trying to use. You're trying to say that God commanded Cyrus to kill or
It
to bash
literally
babies against
fucking
bricks.
says he commanded the Medes. It
And it's
says
poetic
he commanded
license.
them.
It's poetic license. Do you not understand it? Did you
Wow.
not pass first grade reader comprehension? That is a poetic license.
Yeah, I'm the one who's needs comprehension work here. Yeah.
I gave you a better verse to use if you want to attack Christians on this ground.
Well, that's a different
just
story, and that's not what we're talking about, and that's not how Isaiah's worded. So when it says "I command,"
It's
that
poetic
means
license.
I command. I know first grade was too
It's a
much for you.
poetic
You don't understand
license.
words.
If I said I
Yeah,
have
no
wings and I
shit.
soared across the sky, am I literally
It's
doing
a
that?
prophecy.
Or am I
It's
being
a
poetic?
proclamation prophecy.
Yes, and it's using poetic license.
Yeah, and in Jeremiah 25, it says this. It says, the whole land shall become a ruin and a waste, and these
Mhm.
nations shall serve the king of Babylon for 70 years. Then after 70 years are completed, I will punish the king of Babylon and that nation, and the nation of the Chaldeans for their iniquity, says the Lord, making that land an everlasting waste. This is literally
Excuse me.
God taking credit for all this stuff you're denying.
I'm not denying it.
Which I don't... Yes,
I
you
can't step
are.
up-
You're sitting there arguing with me that God didn't command this stuff.
No, I'm saying that God
In a
didn't.
proclamation
I'm
against
saying that God
Babylon.
didn't
This is
directly
all part
tell
of his
Cyrus
plan.
face to
Like,
face. I never said that God isn't responsible for
I
all
never
these
said
things.
he told Cyrus that face to face. I said he's
But
the
that was my
one
question
making
back
this happen.
in the beginning when you first brought up the verse. I said, did God directly tell Cyrus to bash the children
And I've
against
said a
the
thousand
ground?
times it doesn't say that. I never said it says that.
All right,
So
then we're on common ground again.
You keep dancing around a point that nobody even made. It's weird.
Well, sometimes we get passionate and we only hear ourselves. If I messed up in that way, I apologize.
Well, I forgive you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm more merciful than your God. I
Hey,
would never make you eat your own children.
hey, to each his own.
No. Do you think that's cool too? You don't mind that God made the Israelites eat their own children?
No. It was a warning that, hey, if you continue on this path you're
It wasn't a
taking,
warning.
things
It
are about to get
happened.
so bad, you're going to have to eat your own children.
Yeah. No, he says, I'm going to make them eat their own children.
Yes, because by God stepping away and turning them over to their enemies, it would be like if someone was holding a gun to somebody's head and I had the full power to stop them and didn't. In a way, I would be culpable. I would be also responsible for that guy's death. So in the same way, if God is turning the children of Israel over to their enemies and God knows that they're going to be forced to eat their own children, God is saying, yes, I'm responsible for this.
Okay. So in Isaiah 14, when it says, but the Lord will have compassion on Jacob and will again choose Israel and will settle them in their own land, and the aliens who will join them and attach themselves to the house of Jacob. And the nations will take them and bring them to this place. And the house of Israel will possess the nations as male and female slaves in the Lord's land. They will take captives of those who their captors and rule over those who oppress them. So is that God?
Yep.
Oh, so this is God doing this, right?
I would agree that God is allowing it to happen. Or maybe in
Oh,
this
okay.
case, God's
So
even
he
making it
just
happen.
allowed Cyrus to free them. That wasn't part of his actual plan, right?
I don't know what you're asking, but if you would have heard me, I said that it maybe
Well,
could be God actually making it
Well, you
happen.
just spent a long time arguing with me that God didn't command the proclamation against Babylon. It just happened. And now this restoration of Judah, you're saying the Israelites just chose for that to happen just because Cyrus and the Medes just happened to conquer Babylon, right?
No, I'm saying that God already had pressed upon Cyrus' heart to allow that to happen. That
Oh, so he's
the
just
Medes and the
allowing it to
Persians, just
happen.
like
It
the
was
freaking
never part of
Mongolians,
God's plan, is what you're saying.
the Medes and the Persians, just like the Mongolians, were very tolerant
All right. Well,
of other religions,
how do
so
you
they
know
wouldn't
what
have a
God is
problem.
actually making happen and what he's not happening? Because clearly you don't think this was part of God's plan.
I thought you said it was part of God's plan. I think we're circling back to something I've already conceded to.
Oh, okay. So, you conceded.
Yeah,
So you've
yeah,
changed. You've now reversed course and went to this was
yeah.
God
You started
doing
talking
this.
midway when I said, well, maybe God did actually. This would be God doing it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean that makes it a lot simpler. I mean,
Yeah.
you just don't care that babies are being murdered and women raped here.
I mean, do you care?
I care. Yeah, this is deeply disturbing shit to me. I
So,
wish you would join me, but some people just don't care about baby murder and rape.
I wouldn't say
I
I
care
don't.
deeply about these things because I think these were atrocities inflicted on people that did not deserve it.
And what are you doing about it? Besides, bashing Christians.
It was 2,500 years ago.
Well, we're talking about, don't babies still get aborted and stuff today?
And right now, there's 80-something people in here watching somebody defend baby murder and rape. That's why I do this channel.
I never said I defended any of those things. That's you supposing.
Yes, you have. You have said at least 10 times now that you don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about God's judgment upon other nations or even upon Israel. In the same way, you just admitted that it happened 20,000 years ago, so you can't do nothing about it.
I said 2,500 years ago.
2,500 years ago, so you can't do nothing about it.
Well, I can do something about the people now who are defending this kind of crap and are clearly okay with the evil going on.
You had a question before we went into this. I'm trying to remember what it was.
You're not okay with slavery, are you?
It depends. I think the problem in the West is that we view all slavery as chattel slavery or Roman slavery, when there's several different forms of slavery.
Well, what's the good kind?
Where a slave has upward mobility, where a slave isn't in perpetual slavery, pretty much born into it and then stuck being a slave for the rest of his life.
Oh, well, God's just fine with all that stuff.
Where a master can't abuse his slaves. In the Bible, if you knocked out the tooth of your slave, he was to be set free and compensated. So simply because God sets a guidelines for slavery, it doesn't make it immoral.
So you're okay with child sex slavery too, then, right?
To what degree?
To any degree.
No, because if we're talking about an ancient people who didn't have an industrial era and they needed some kids to go out there and till the soil and plant some seeds and shit, why would I care?
I mean, I would think you would care because you're a human who cares about that stuff, but you
No,
clearly are not.
I'm a human who understands there's a difference between slavery and chattel slavery. I'm a human who understands that the way we live today is a comfort.
Slavery is chattel slavery.
No, not all slavery is chattel slavery.
Yeah, there's debt servitude too.
Yeah, there's indentured
servitude. It allows
fine.
both in the Bible. It allows taking women and children as plunder, war brides,
you can do that.
Captives.
Now, if a slave,
called child sex slavery.
If a slave, no. See, that's what that dude wants to go there.
Yeah.
If a master lays down with his slave, female, what happens?
Then he busts a nut in her, and that's called grape.
Nope. In the Bible, if a master lays down with his female slave, she is no longer a slave. She is his wife, and he has to take care of her. He cannot put her away. He cannot sell. Oh, he can put her away, but he cannot ever sell her as a slave again. That's what the Bible says.
And why does it say he can't sell her as a slave again?
Because she's no longer a slave. Once he lays with her, she is his wife.
Why? Why does it? No, it gives a reason for that.
Go ahead, tell me. Because you have humbled her.
Because she's been violated and dishonored.
Right.
Right.
So your point?
She's been violated and dishonored.
But your whole argument was that you could just
My point.
yeah,
My point.
you were just now
You
saying
don't understand the point here, really.
not from your
You
perspective.
are one of the most morally bankrupt people I've ever talked to on here. Let me tell you, I've talked to a lot, buddy.
Hey, I could be, but I think that
I mean, you are, in my opinion.
Hey,
congratulations.
that's your opinion.
I mean, wear it like a badge of honor. There.
I look at nuance. I look at if we're talking about a slave child, even in Rome, did she get any kind of protections under the law? No.
She certainly doesn't get that from your
she could
God
get-
either. Your God
She could
endorses
get
these things and condones it.
what's it called? Humbled every day, every night for the rest of her life. But at least in the Bible, according to God's thing, she gets some benefit. Once she is laid with, she is now his wife, and he has to provide for her as a wife, providing her with food, clothes, shelter, and he can't sell her as a slave ever again. As opposed to the Romans.
Yeah, because she's been violated and dishonored.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
What a great benefit.
Yeah.
What a great, loving God.
It's a
you
better
serve.
benefit than in Rome, where you would be humbled and then be humbled again, and then you get sold to someone else who will humble you. At least the humbling stops.
Yeah, just tell them around. Like, oh, my God. This is hard to listen to. Do you live in America?
I sure do.
Shit. Wow. Well, you've defended slavery, child murder, rape, any other atrocities you want to defend?
No, throw one at me.
Here?
Because you have yet to really defend your point as to why it's wrong. All you said is your opinion that it's wrong. So tell me, why is it wrong? Just because you feel it's wrong?
You need me to explain to you why murdering a baby is wrong?
Yep.
Oh, well.
I mean, we live in America, right?
Have fun with that, buddy. Oh yeah, we live in America. This is welcome in, everybody, where atheists have to explain to Christians why murdering babies is a bad thing. Where the nasty old heathens have to explain to the Christians why slavery, including child sex slavery, is a bad thing. What's the problem here? It's just like murdering babies is bad. It's like just your opinion, bro. That's just your opinion, bro. Dude, you are sick puppy. Oh man, I'm absolutely ashamed and disgusted to be from the same country as these motherfuckers. Holy crap. That was, oh my goodness. I mean, we get bad ones all the time, but that was bad even for bad. You can't even tell me why baby murder is bad. Excuse me, sir. You just spent a whole lot of time telling us why it's good. Hello? Hello? Could you join us in humanity? And that's what we're dealing with. And that's why I do this channel, is because of that mofo right there. That's why I do this. That's who we're living with. That's who's out here fucking voting. Is that mofo right there. There you have it. There you have it. Gotta make sure we clip that one, don't we? Hear that freaking laugh, man. That shit was hard to listen to. I almost dropped him so many times, it's so hard not to. My God. This is why I do this, man. How mentally unstable do you have to be? I mean, I don't know, man. It wasn't totally a lost cause. At least he conceded on all that bullshit he argued for the first 20 minutes. But, you know, whatever. Oh, wow. Wow. Man, if I was a Christian and I had to sit here and listen to that shit, actually, I don't know what I would think because I wasn't the same mind then as I am now. But no way I would sit here and listen to that and think he was making Christianity look good there. That was that was that was a motherfucking atrocity. That's why we do this. The atheists got to sit up here and listen to Christians tell us why slavery's okay, including child sex slavery, baby murder, having women raped. Oh, they had it coming, you know. It was just, you know, just love and mercy. It was a mercy. It was a mercy that the baby murder's mercy. You heard it there. You heard it there. Oh man. I've been watching. I didn't say nothing yet. Darth Dawkins was in here for like the last 20 minutes. He just left though. Oh man. Wonder what Darth thought of that. Maybe Darth had a one of those Philbro arguments for that shit. Wow. Well, Christians, I'm sure that's a hard act to follow there, no doubt. But the guest queue is wide open right now. I'll try to tell y'all. So we're getting at least one slavery apologist and baby and grape apologist. No, he's he's came up 3 times and he hasn't made it far at all in any discussion. 0 for 3. Like if you do any sort of little interruption, it's very sensitive. Like if you do any sort of little interruption at all or anything, it's it just devolves into that's what atheists do every time. So it's really kind of pointless. But well, yeah. It was a hard act to follow, huh? Well, oh my god. Like, I've still got, like, shit, a good hour I could be owed if somebody wants to come and talk. But then again, you have conversations like those last ones, and it takes a lot out of me. It takes a lot out of me. How fucking scary. I just can't believe. Well, I mean, I can believe it, obviously, but figure of speech. I just can't believe that other fucking Americans in the year 2026 are coming up here and openly letting the shit fall out of their mouth that last motherfucker just spewed out there. This is a sad, sad state we're in here, man. Like, this is a sad, sad state. This, my goodness. How can this be? It can beat the religion, but yikes, man, yikes, 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 yikes. This is horrible, horrible stuff. Oh boy, boy. Rich, are you there?
What's up with it, man?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good, man. Are you over 18?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Are you one of the Christians or Hebrew Israelites?
I'm a follower of Christ, man.
Cool, man. So which one of these topics you want to talk to us about? You didn't hear that last conversation, did you?
Nah, I literally just clicked on right now.
Okay, cool, man. Okay. Well, which one of these topics you want to talk to us about today?
Well, man, I really want to let you, pick one, and then we could talk about it.
I can if you want me to, but is there one maybe particular you feel the strongest about, or feel like you have the most knowledge to speak on, I guess?
Explain the problems in the Bible. I mean, so I mean, all of them. I understand the questions that you have, but I mean, I don't want to pick one. I really want you to pick one because it's your platform, man.
All right, that'll be fun. So, do you think God condones slavery?
So, in general, or when slavery was here?
In general, does
Okay,
he ever say slavery's bad?
I mean, no, he don't say slavery is bad. He definitely don't say that, but we know that the devil is actually the one that dwells on the earth, you know. So when slavery came, right, when black people was in slavery, the only reason that black people got out of slavery is because of God was with them. If God wasn't with them, they would have never got out. They would have been given up, you know.
Do you know how they got into slavery?
Yes, they were sold into slavery.
Do you know why though?
Tell
Do you
me.
know why it was okay for the institution of slavery to even become a thing?
Tell me.
It's because it was biblically permissible. Like literally, the president of the Confederacy in the United States, Jefferson Davis, stood up in front of thousands of people and said, "It is a God-given right to own slaves." And he quotes Leviticus 25, and he was absolutely right about that because that's what it says.
For sure, for sure, for sure. So, do you believe in good and bad or good and evil?
I believe we have a moral concept of those things. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Do you believe in the devil?
No,
Okay, okay. So, you basically don't believe that we are spiritual beings either.
no. I'm
Okay.
an atheist. I don't believe in pretty much anything supernatural.
I mean, I feel you, man, but like even atheists have a God, you know?
Have what?
Even atheists have a God. Your God is what you can't live without of. Me personally, I can't live without Jesus Christ because then darkness will overtake me. So
I agree.
whatever you can't live without, that's your God.
Mm,
So basically, so think about it like
yeah, I don't
this.
think so.
What can you not live without?
I can't live without my phone. Does that mean my phone's my God?
100%. I can live without my phone.
Well, well, I think we're in a disagreement about what gods are.
I mean, whatever you worship, whatever you can't live without. I don't see how we're in disagreements with that.
Well, I mean, I
It's
can
about
live without my phone. I just don't want to. But I mean,
yeah,
if
I
it was
mean,
just taken from me right now and there was no access, I could get along in life just fine without it.
for sure, for sure. But I can't live without God. But if I didn't have God, I might be more evil.
What would make you more evil, owning a slave?
Say it again.
Would owning a slave make you more evil?
Well, I wouldn't own a slave because that's not of God.
Yeah, God's fine with slavery. He permits it. He allows it.
I mean, for sure, but that don't mean he says do it. He's not telling no one to get slaves. Yes, they
Yeah,
would.
but
There
he's saying
were.
if you want to, you can. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Just like he give the devil permission to do many things. When he
Right,
casted
right.
the devil out of heaven, he sent him to earth. When he sent him to earth,
So,
I'm
so
listening.
look, well, say you got a dad, right? And you got like 9 or 10 brothers and sisters. And
Okay.
your dad is your dad. He's y'all's guardian. He's supposed to be watching y'all and doing all this stuff. And say all you kids are passing around dangerous things, something that could hurt everybody. But instead of your dad telling you, hey, that's not good, y'all have to stop that, it's dangerous, he just lets you keep doing it. Say a bunch of y'all kids gets hurt because of whatever dangerous thing you were doing there. Would it be your dad's fault?
Because he
That he could have
said,
stopped whatever danger y'all were doing? That he permitted y'all to do something dangerous like that?
okay, so basically you're saying just because he didn't say stop, don't do it, could it be his fault?
Well, I'm saying he bears some responsibility when he could stop
Correct.
something like this, but he doesn't. He condones it, and you could pretty much consider that an endorsement if God is not
So
actively
that's where
condemning it. Because when
so
God don't
that's
like
where
something, he condemns it.
correct. So that's where free will comes in. Because he didn't have to send the devil to the earth. He could have did away with him. But
Right.
that's where free will comes in. So he gives us free will. We are able to make our own decisions. Just like you are on this
Okay, well,
platform
if
right
your
here.
dad is sitting around letting a bunch of kids play with a pew pew and he didn't forbid them and something bad happens, he's gonna have a real big responsibility to bear when it comes to time for somebody to be punished for this.
I mean, so
You see
all
what
I'm
I'm
telling.
saying? If you're supposed to be like the guardian and you're allowing these things, like you
Mm-hmm.
should be taking the pew pew from the kids. You should not let them have that. It is dangerous. Like any responsible father would not let their children play with something dangerous like that.
Correct. I definitely understand what you're saying, you know. I definitely understand 100%. As the dad should take the gun away from him. Or the pew pew, my bad.
Right.
Should take the pew pew
So
away
if
from him.
slavery is bad in the eyes of the Lord, he should have said, "You will not own slaves. You should not own other people as property." But he allowed these atrocities to continue. He even says you can sell your daughter as a slave. He even commands slavery in the cases of war. He says you have to take war plunder, women and children as captives.
For sure. So that's in that situation, you know. In that situation, they did have to do things like that, you know. 100% they
Well, they
did
didn't
do that.
have to. God told them to do
But
those
yeah,
things. They
he
didn't have
told
to do
them
that.
that that was the best way. That was the best way to do it for sure. He definitely
Yeah, but it
said that.
wasn't the best way to do it. It was one of the worst ways to do it.
Okay, so what do you think should have happened?
I think he should have said maybe, have you ever heard of the Geneva Convention?
Geneva Convention, Geneva Convention. I don't know. Explain it to me.
Yeah, it's basically the whole world got together and made a bunch of rules, and they said, "Hey,
Okay.
if we're going to fight each other, let's at least do it like this. So we're not going to take war captives. You can take prisoners, but you're not supposed to hurt them. You're supposed to treat them pretty well. You're not supposed to torture anybody. You're not supposed to hurt civilians. You're not supposed to grape women. All these things are strictly forbidden, right? Even certain
Mm-hmm.
weapons, like
Mm-hmm.
inhumane weapons. Like, I would have been far more impressed with God if even back then he would have come and said, "Hey, when you make war on people, don't do all this inhumane atrocities and stuff like that." You know what I mean? That would have been far more impressive to me. But he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. He makes them worse in some cases.
For sure, for sure. So that's just like when you're raising kids, right? Say you got 10 kids. We're gonna go back to that. Say you personally have 10 kids, right? You're gonna have
Mhm.
some that go right, you know, that don't do evil stuff. You might have some that do evil stuff, correct? But the ones that do the evil stuff, you didn't tell them to do that evil stuff, correct?
Yeah, but if I allowed them to do it when I could have stopped it, that's a big problem.
I don't see how that's a big problem when we have free will.
Well, just imagine for a second you even have knowledge of something bad. Take the dad and kids out of the equation. Just say you
Okay.
know a group of guys who are about to do something really, really bad to a bunch of other people. Nothing to do with you. You're not involved. They're not going to hurt you. You just know they're about to do this, right? Now, if you just say, it ain't got nothing to do with me, screw it, that's one thing.
Okay.
If you say, "Hey, there's a bunch of people in danger," and you report it to somebody who can do something about it, that was you taking action against that, right?
Okay.
Obviously,
Yes.
that's the right thing to do. Inaction would be the wrong thing to do because you're allowing harm that you could have prevented. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. So basically, you're saying that he allowed evil to happen. Why would he allow evil to happen?
Well, it's not even just that he's allowing it; he's endorsing it, he's permitting it, he's condoning this behavior. That's the real problem here. This isn't just allowing it to happen outside of his gaze. Like, he knows this stuff's going to happen. He could stop this stuff if he wanted to. Instead, he says, "Go do it. You're permitted. You have my blessing to do these things."
For sure. So the reason he let that do is because we have free will. He sent listen. So God, he is the ruler of all things. He rules every so the devil does not do anything without God's permission. Okay? So
Yeah,
when
I
he
know.
let
The devil's just God's henchman. It's still God doing the stuff. It's like a mob boss who has a bunch of guys who thugs who work for him. The mob boss doesn't go pew pew people himself. He tells this guy to go do it. But it's still him doing it. So when the devil goes and does this on God's graces, it's just God using one of his henchmen to execute his will.
okay. Okay, man. Hey, all I can say is, man, hey, Jesus love you, man. I just feel like I'm going in circles, man. I mean, a lot of people won't understand when they have a hardened heart, but when they really, dive into God, or have you ever been into the Bible or into God or anything?
Yeah, I read it every day. I was a Christian until I was almost 30 years old.
Okay, and what made you stop being a Christian?
Problems like this. Like, I don't worship unjust gods. If I thought God was love and merciful and just, I would probably still be a Christian. But he's not those things. This God is evil, and no one should worship this God because this is horrible, horrible stuff.
Okay, so what do you believe we came from?
What do you mean, as humans?
Yeah, like where did everything start from?
Humans evolved from other earlier life forms. Life evolves.
Okay, so what earlier life form? What was the beginning? Where was the beginning? That's my question.
You mean of biological life or humans?
Correct.
All biological life?
Yes.
Abiogenesis. You ever looked into that?
A who? Abiogenesis?
Yeah, you've never heard of that?
Nah, what is that?
It's just science on life coming about naturally.
I know, but like, if Big Bang, is that where you think it came from?
No,
Like the
life
Big
started on
Bang?
Earth. The Big Bang was way, way before that.
Correct. So I'm saying, where do you think everything came from? Like the first human being, you don't believe in Adam and Eve, so what do you believe in?
I believe humans evolved from earlier life forms over long periods of time, but I think life started on Earth roughly 3.5, 4 billion years ago, a long time, and then it set around as very simple life forms in the form of single cells for a long, long time, a billion or 2 years, and then finally life evolved. But if you're going back to like the universe, then I mean, I think matter and energy was always there. The
Okay,
universe has always
okay.
been here. I think
Okay, what do you think decision making came from?
our brains,
Where did our brain come from though?
it evolved like every other organ.
So can we agree that if two frogs mate, they'll have another frog?
Yeah,
Okay, what about two horses? They'll have another horse?
yeah,
So we had to came from something that had a brain and able to have a thinking process to create us, correct? Because when you look around, everything that
no,
you see works with another. Like you have plants, but you have the bees and the other insects to pollinate it, correct?
yeah.
Okay, so what created this whole process of everything that we do right now?
Nothing. We adapted to our environment. Those bees adapted to the pollen of the flower over long periods of time and developed
Okay.
that cohesive relationship. Like nobody created a bee and said, "Hey, bees, pollinate or go eat pollen." Like it just happened. It worked out that way because we were both interacting together in nature.
So we just came
Evolution
from
explains all
nothing.
that perfectly.
So we just came
No,
from nothing.
no, nothing came from nothing. There's no
But it
such
had
thing
to
as
start from
nothing.
something, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but it didn't start from nothing though.
I know, but like the only God is eternal. God is eternal. He's an eternal
Do you
being. He's a spiritual
right?
being. So
Do
he
you
has
think
no
do you think
beginning or
something came
ending.
from nothing?
No, I believe we all came from God.
Well, I'm just. Do you think something can come from nothing? Is that logically possible?
I believe that God is an eternal being, so he has no beginning or end.
Right. Okay. So do you think something can come from nothing logically? Just take God out of the equation for a second. Can something come from nothing? Can there be nothing and then just something pop up?
If it's not God, no. God is the only thing that can do that. Just like he
So
sent his
God can
son,
make
Jesus
something from
Christ.
nothing.
Say it again.
So God can make something from nothing is what you're saying.
100%. Just like he did from the beginning.
Well, why not just assume matter and energy can come magically out of nothing on its own?
Because it's not God.
Why does it have to be? It's just invoking magic and miracles, either way you look at it.
Yeah, but see, you lean more on science, man, and I lean more on God. You know,
Well, I
that
know, but
that
one
that
is
that's the
like
that's the
proven
difference. You know,
methodology that actually works in the universe, and then God is like a concept of magic.
but so did you know even God? Did you know? I mean, even science came from a man.
Yeah.
All right. So like, I'm just saying, man. Like even science came from a person. So like,
Yeah,
and
God
that's
came from a
it
person
started with
too.
his opinion. It started with his opinion.
Yeah,
So
and
how you
God
know that's
started
not
in
made up?
people's imaginations.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you know, the difference in between us, man, I believe this is a spiritual world. You know what I'm saying? Just like us talking on here, yeah, I see your vessel, but your spirit is totally different from mine. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's coming on this live, their spirit is totally different from both of ours. We might agree on some things, but we disagree on others. You know, it's just like when it come down to the car we pick, to the decisions we make in life. You know, some of us might own guns, some of us might not. Some might want to go hunting. You know, some might want kids, some might not. It's all spiritual of our decisions that we make.
What is the spirit exactly?
It's what you cannot see. It's what make you. It's what make you make your decisions. You know. It's what
Like
actually
your brain?
controls us.
So a spirit's a brain, essentially?
A personality.
Oh. Well, how come you can smack somebody upside the head and do brains damage to them and alter their spirit?
How can you smack some? Because once you do that, once you damage their brain, right? So the brain is for memory. That's what we have the brain for. Okay. So if you don't get taught anything, you will never know nothing. Correct. So like cavemen, right? Cavemen, they'll never know how to drive a car. You know, all the things that we do in the world, a caveman will never know how to do that. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct. So the reason that we even have a brain is to hold the memory of our spirit.
So how do you damage a spirit?
How do you damage a spirit? When you
Yeah.
get less of God in you.
Oh, so if you smack somebody upside the head and they don't have the same spirit, couldn't you say smacking somebody upside the head damages a
No,
spirit?
no, that leaves an open door for an evil spirit. So if they have a good spirit, it leaves an open door for an evil spirit because at the moment they are basically unconscious.
Oh, all right. That's that's something.
I mean, I
So
mean,
smack somebody upside the head and an evil spirit comes in.
no, it leaves an open door for an evil spirit to come in. So
By hitting somebody in the head.
I mean, if they get left unconscious, they're not conscious enough to defend themselves.
So you can consciously defend yourself from an evil spirit?
100%. That's when you come from the word. That's when you get the word of God, the Holy Spirit. If you have the Holy Spirit inside of you and you're walking exactly how God put the instructions to life here, and you're walking in the truth of God, it's no way for the evil spirit to be able to get inside of you. Now, when you're not walking in the instructions, you get on platforms like this and tell people that it's not real, because that's called the Antichrist. That is the devil's spirit.
The devil that God is his henchman, right?
Say it again.
You mean the same devil that's God's henchman?
Well, the devil is down here to see who's God's people and who's not.
Yeah, but God's making him do that, right?
He's not making them. He's not. The devil asks
I
permission.
thought you
He,
early.
he's the devil asks
Earlier you
permission.
said the devil doesn't do anything without God's permission, so you can only
Correct.
logically assume. Yeah, so you can only logically assume based on that the devil isn't doing anything that God ain't allowing him to do.
But that does not mean he's making him do it. You said making him. He's not making him.
If he's allowing him to do it, he is sharing in the responsibility of what he's doing.
I see somebody say atheists are not Satan worshipers. I mean, if you don't believe in God and you're not walking in God, that means you're walking with the devil. It's no in between.
Well, how do you know the difference between God and the devil? Because if you read the Bible, God unalives thousands of babies, and the devil don't unalive anybody. Who does the devil unalive? Besides 10 of Job's children, arguably.
So in the Old Testament, it was basically showing us. He was basically showing us how serious the small things were. So he was killing a lot of people. But after Jesus Christ came and he got hung on the cross, and then he died and rose again and went to heaven, he left the Holy Spirit down here. And so that when he said on the cross, forgive them, so that gave us chance to repent and turn from our wicked ways.
So what about the people that got unalives after Jesus?
Okay, give me an example.
Herod in Acts. Herod's talking to a group of people, and for whatever reason, this group of drooling nincompoops that he's talking to thinks it's God talking. And since Herod doesn't immediately correct them and say, hey, I'm not God, I'm the one talking to you, God sends down an angel, and he is unalived and eaten by worms on the spot.
Correct. So bear with me. I'm about to pull it up. Do you have the exact scripture up? Because I don't want to just talk about it. I want to, actually pull it up.
All right, yeah, let's do
I
that.
was waiting on you to mention, scripture. So.
Yeah, it's Acts chapter 12, I believe. Maybe it's 10. Oh, yes, here it is. I'll read it. It says, Now Herod was angry with the people of Tyre and Sidon, so they came to him in a body. And after winning over Blastus, the king's personal attendant, they asked for reconciliation because their country depended on the king's country for food. On appointed day, Herod put on his royal robes, took his seat on the platform, and delivered a public address to them. The people kept shouting, the voice of a god and not a mortal. And immediately, because he had not given the glory to God, an angel of the Lord struck him down, and he was eaten by worms and unalive.
Okay. So he tried to play like he was God.
No, he was just giving a speech. The people in the crowd thought he was God for whatever reason.
Correct.
And since he didn't immediately correct them and say, no, I'm the person talking to you right now, I'm not God. Mm-hmm. God immediately sent an angel and struck him down. He didn't even get a chance to talk. They unalived him on the spot.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you believe after these, 80 to 100 years that we just go in the grave and there's nothing else that's going to happen?
Oh God, I can only hope so.
Okay, so what I believe is that we're going to pass away, here, and then how we lived our life once Jesus come back, he will judge who goes to heaven and who goes to hell. When we go in our grave, we basically just sleep for a long time. We're at rest.
So basically dead until judgment day anyway.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So just because he got killed, I mean, that doesn't mean he's going to go to hell. You get what I'm saying? When Jesus come back, we
Well,
will
sounds
find
like he's
out.
already been judged if God did the deed himself. Like he sent the angel and unalived him on the spot.
I mean,
What happened to
but
his
that
free
doesn't.
will? Like, how come he couldn't use his free will? I mean, Jesus has already died at this point. This is supposed to be after Jesus' sacrifice, and God is still unaliving people on the spot.
Exactly, man, because we supposed to focus on what's above, not what's below. So we supposed to focus on
Yeah, but
going to heaven.
I mean, what was Herod's crime here, though? Not correcting a bunch of idiots that thought he was God talking?
Okay, I got you.
Like,
So I
how do
got
you
a
even
question.
think a dude talking to you is God? Like, how does that even happen? There's a dude talking to people about food in a country, and they're like, "Oh, that's got to be God talking." Like, who even thinks that?
I mean, there's a lot of people that think stuff like that, man. To tell you the truth,
Really?
you
Really?
know.
Well, I guess
I
I
mean,
believe you.
people that look
Actually,
up
I'll
to
concede that.
people that look up
Yep.
to celebrities and
You
all
got me.
that.
I don't even know why I said that. That was the dumbest thing I ever said on this
I'm just
so,
saying,
yeah.
it's a lot of people that
If you'd have heard the last
100%.
guy up here talking, yeah, you'd have realized how silly I probably sound right now.
I'm just saying, it's a lot of people that 100% think that though, you know.
You're right.
So
I spoke out of turn. My bad. Yeah, people are
nah, you all
German
right, man.
ninja
Hey,
of idiots. Yeah.
hey.
Have you ever heard of Ananias and Sapphira?
For sure, when he was stealing the money and they dropped dead.
He didn't steal money. He didn't give it all to the church. He kept a little bit after they sold their property. So they unalived
I
him
mean,
because he didn't
I
give
mean
all the
he,
money to the church.
yeah, I mean, but if he was supposed to give it and he didn't, he held it back. That's stealing.
It's not stealing. It's just not giving all the money that you just sold all your shit for to the church. He still gave them a giant chunk. They're like, you didn't hand it all over. You got to go.
No, they asked him a question and he lied about it. They asked him a question. All he had to do was say, "Yes, I kept some of it back." Am I correct? If he would have said, "Yes, I kept some of it back," that he probably wouldn't have died. But he said, "No, no, like God don't see everything."
Yeah, how dare he keep some of the money for his property that he sold?
But the thing about it, God provides. So just because he didn't keep that money, don't mean he wasn't gonna be okay.
He didn't lie about it. It doesn't
Yes.
really say that, though.
Okay, so please pull it up. Please pull it up. I will
It
show
just
you.
says he
They
kept
asked
some
him a
of the money,
question.
not that he told him. He didn't tell them that's all of it. It just says he kept some back. And he says,
I
by
know
doing this, you
for
have lied to
sure.
the Lord.
No, but he denied that he kept some back. He said, "Is this all of it?" And he said, "Yes, this is all of it." Look it up. Look it up.
Okay, it says, but a man named Ananias, with the consent of his wife Sapphira, sold a piece of property. With his wife's knowledge, he kept back some of the proceeds and only brought part and laid it at the apostles' feet. Ananias, Peter asked, why has Satan filled your heart to lie with the Holy Spirit and keep back part of the proceeds of your land? See, like, he never denied it. Peter just knew he wasn't giving him all the money.
For sure, for sure. But see, that's the
Peter's
thing.
like, this looks a little light, bro. Where's the rest of this shit? And according to this, the guy didn't say anything. Peter's just like, you ain't lying there, are you? He didn't even get a chance to say anything. He just ends up dropping dead.
For sure. I got you. So from the beginning, he was supposed to give all of the proceeds. That was the plan.
Right, but keeping some of it wasn't like lying about it. It was just like not forking up all the money that you sold your property for. That's not necessarily a lie, though.
Okay, so if I tell you I'm gonna give you $5, then I give you the money and it's four. Is that it? Is that $5?
Well, I mean, like, even if it wasn't, like, I'm not unaliving you for it.
But you're not God, bro. That's what I'm telling you. You're not God. Why are you comparing
You're
yourself to
not making a
God?
good case for God if he'll kill you over $1. Like, this is not a loving, merciful God that deserves to be worshipped. This is
But
awful,
it's not about the
evil
money.
shit.
But it's not about the money. It's the
I
principle.
know. Yeah, it is about the principle. Correct.
That's what I'm saying. It's the principle. It's not the money. It's not the dollars. It's the principle.
I know. The man sold his property. he gives them a whole bunch of the money. But since he don't fork it all over, he is now unalived. You
For
don't
sure,
really
but
see a problem with that? Like, that sounds pretty damn horrible to me.
I mean, but listen, I'm not God, so I can't tell him what to do, man. It's like you go to school, you can't tell the school this how I'm gonna do in school today. This
Is
is
there
my rules. This is
anything
my
at all
school.
that God could do that you would call evil?
Say it
Like,
again.
what if God is there anything at all that God could do that you would recognize as an evil deed?
I wouldn't call him evil. Just because I don't understand what he did doesn't make him evil. I can't just
Okay.
because I don't make the decisions. Just because I don't understand, I can't say it's evil.
Well, you don't
So
necessarily have
so if
to
somebody else
totally
speak a different,
understand something or a situation, but like, if an innocent baby gets its brains bashed out, is there ever an instance where that was actually a good thing?
well, this what I can say
Any at
about
all?
that.
Can you think of any scenario at all in reality where an innocent baby getting its brains bashed out was a good thing?
So here on earth is definitely not a good thing, 100%. But we gotta
Right.
focus on what's above. We're talking about going to heaven. We're not talking about living this short life that we have. We're not talking about this short life. So we're talking about where we're going to eternally.
I'm
Okay,
talking about a baby's short life.
for sure. But where are they going after? When Jesus come
But
back, when Jesus come back,
look, when God destroys the wicked don't go to heaven. All
a
those
baby is
babies that
wicked.
got
Hold
destroyed
on,
in
a
wait a
baby
minute.
is wicked.
No, babies are innocent.
Okay, so what do you mean? I'm confused. We're
So
talking
I'm
about a
saying
baby
there is
here.
no scenario where a baby being murdered is a good thing. It doesn't. And they didn't go to heaven, and I can prove that.
You can prove that babies did not go to heaven.
Yeah.
Okay, prove it.
Okay. Do you think there was babies on the earth when God flooded it?
100%.
Okay. So God floods the earth. Do you think the babies got to go to heaven?
They are still at rest right now.
Okay. So did the flood happen before Jesus's lifetime?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so Jesus says no one has ascended into heaven except the one who descended from heaven. So Jesus himself says there is no one in heaven right now. So if
Exact.
there's no one in
That's
heaven,
why I
that
told
means
you
those babies didn't in the flood didn't go to heaven.
they are still at rest. That's what I'm telling you. Right now,
Oh,
no
that
one
actually
is
makes
in
more sense
heaven.
then.
No one is in heaven. I told you that. If everyone is at
It
rest,
well, there's some people in heaven.
God and
Elijah's in
Jesus.
heaven. Elijah's in heaven.
And what makes you say
Remember?
that?
Because Elijah got taken to heaven in a whirlwind of fire, in a chariot of fire in a whirlwind. That was it. You don't
Okay.
remember that?
Now I don't remember that part. Tell you the truth.
Here, hold on. What
Yeah,
verse is
pull it
that?
up. Pull it up.
So if I pull it up, you're gonna admit there's a mistake at foot, right?
Nah, if he in heaven, he in heaven. But I don't remember that part. Hey,
Well, if
I'm
he's in
not gonna sit
heaven,
here
then
and lie.
Jesus is wrong. He wasn't the only one that ascended to heaven. Oh, that's Second Kings. That's right.
Second Kings,
Yeah.
Second Kings chapter.
Oh, 2. I was thinking it was 20 something, but it's not.
Second Kings chapter 2.
Yep. Second Kings. Ghost. Elijah ascended to heaven. Which part is that? As they continued walking and talking,
Hold
a
on, hold on.
chariot of
Which
fire and
one?
horses
Yeah,
of fire separated the two of them, and Elijah ascended in a whirlwind into heaven. That's verse 11.
verse 11. Okay.
Godless, what up, dog?
stood on the bank of Jordan, then he took a cloak. But he didn't stay up there though. But
What do
he
you
didn't
mean he didn't
stay up
stay
there.
up there?
Did you keep reading?
Huh? It says he ascended into heaven.
For sure, for sure. But we can't go. We go into heaven spirit. So like Jesus, right? The reason Jesus is God is because Jesus had God's spirit inside of him.
Okay,
Okay.
so Jesus still said no one's ascended into heaven but him. But did he forget about Elijah?
Nah, he didn't get, no, he didn't forget about Elijah. No.
Well, it sure seems like it. He says no one has ascended into heaven except the one who descended from heaven. So Elijah clearly ascended into heaven. So if Jesus is supposed to be some profound dude, he probably should have known that. It would have been more accurate to say no one has ascended into heaven except
But right
Elijah
here
and
it
Enoch
said,
and me.
but right here it said the spirit of Elisha rest on Elisha.
Yeah.
2 Kings 2 and 15. The spirit of Elijah rest on Elisha. So he did not stay in heaven. He saw heaven, but his spirit is inside Elisha. Okay. So
Oh,
he's not
like his
in heaven.
brain.
So
So
he's
his
not in
brain came
heaven.
into Elisha, right?
No, come on, man. I told you the brain is for memory. Come on, man. Come on. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah. I
I
got
said
you.
this. Hold on, bro. Come
Yeah.
on, man. Don't twist up my words, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is just Elisha sort of picking up the mantle of Elijah.
Yeah, but it rests in Elisha, on Elisha.
Like you can't
So,
send your spirit into another person. You know what I mean?
man, now come on, man. I definitely can't. I definitely can't. But it's definitely people that do stuff like that.
Well, either way, just the problem here is Jesus not knowing this.
But how? Listen, he said no one is in heaven. Elisha is not in heaven. He
He
was
says no
in
one has
Elisha.
ascended to heaven except the one who descended from heaven. And Elijah clearly ascended to heaven.
Okay. So show me the passage where he said that. Where he said, no one has ascended to heaven.
Yeah. So, John. John chapter 1, verse 18. No one has. Oh, wait, that's God. Seen God. Oh, that's a. We'll get back to that one in a second. Verse 13. Chapter 3. No one has ascended into heaven except the one who descended from heaven, the Son of Man. It's literally all he's saying is no one has ascended into heaven except the one who descended from heaven, the Son of Man.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
But so what I'm saying is, man, right here with Elisha, I see that he did go to heaven, but that don't mean he's like stayed in heaven. He might have went to the heaven gates and viewed it. You know what I'm saying? He was able to get an inside look, but that don't mean he was in heaven. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't look at all
It
this
says he
literal,
ascended to heaven.
but it's
It doesn't really
everything in the
say what
Bible.
happened when he got there. I mean, it's just speculation that if he just saw the gates or something, he just took a tour, or got a little tour of the. Yeah, over here's the golden palm trees. You can see these over here on your left, Elijah. If you look over here is the lunchroom. This is where we eat.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can't look at everything literal. You get what I'm saying? Everything is not literal.
Okay.
So think about this, man. So like So I don't know how you could say it on here. I'm trying to think about how you could say it on TikTok. I don't want to say the wrong words and mess up your live, but um, so people that's being gay, is that okay to say it like that?
People that's what?
People that's gay, is it okay to say it like that? Oh,
Does
okay. I'm
not
just making
really.
sure you know the rules of the live. Be okay. So
Well,
people
I
that's
mean,
like that,
there's
you know.
derogatory terms for that. That's not. There's worse words to use.
I got you. I got you. So that spirit came from heaven.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know. But if I say that, people will literally be like, "You said it was gay in heaven." No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But you can't look at everything literal. Is what I'm
Over
telling
here
you.
by the golden palm trees, there's some gay folks in heaven. They get to come too.
No,
Cool.
that's why
Wait a minute.
the devil got
Oh
cast
wait,
out of
no.
heaven. The
Oh,
devil wanted to
for
be
gays?
God.
Wait a minute. The devil's just God's henchman.
Man, you keep saying that. God don't make him do nothing. He definitely get permission, but he don't make him do nothing.
He does though.
Hey, E, man, listen, man. Jesus love you, man. That's all I can tell you.
I think Jesus was a liar and a fraud.
Oh my. Hey, you know what, man? I ain't even gonna continue this conversation, man. I pray for you, bless
What?
your heart, man.
But
Nah,
you were
man,
doing
cause
so
you,
good.
yeah, but listen to what you saying, man. You tripping, bro. That's how
I'm
you
not
know how I
tripping. I
know
can
God
prove
is
it.
all loving. You know how I know God is all loving because He let you get on these platforms and say stuff like this, and He don't make you drop out like He did everybody else in the Bible.
Oh,
Because
well, it
if He
sounds like
wasn't
he's
all loving,
unjust.
He wouldn't give you a chance to repent.
No, that's BS. If he was all loving, he wouldn't have done it to anybody else either.
Man, He ain't did it to you, so you better believe He all
He
loving.
did it to a whole bunch of people. Why didn't he love and mercy them?
So you want Him to do it to you?
If he's alive, yeah, let him come down and strike me down right now. I
Man,
think we would all like to see that.
you don't mean that though. He know what's in your
I
heart.
do mean that. I'm not afraid of the imaginary master of the Christians, man.
I got you, man. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, see, I'm not the type to get mad like people do. You know, all I can do is laugh it off, man. Just because I know, I know, bro, like firsthand.
I hear you.
So
Except sometimes it's not funny. Like it's funny with you, but like I said, if you would have heard the last guy on here, it wouldn't have been funny.
yeah, yeah. I ain't, you know, I ain't even going. You know, bro, this stuff don't make me mad. You know, I just look at it as, you know, y'all, you have been misled in ways. You know, I mean, maybe it's some things that happen in your life that you look at God, why you let that happen. You know, I really don't know because I don't know you, so I don't want to judge you and say this would happen. I really don't. So what was your first? What made you turn away from it?
The problems in the Bible, the
So just
problems with religion, it's illogical.
because he kept what killing people? I mean, unaliving people.
That having he was bashing babies to pieces. He was having women raped for what other people did. Like I mean, yeah, he allows slavery, bodily mutilation. He gives awful laws to people. He demanded child sacrifice. Like I'm not worshiping this God. This is horrible stuff. And I mean, I'm sure you do
So
because you have an idea of this God.
so I
But
have so I have a question. So are you talking about when I can't think of his name right now. When he was gonna sacrifice his son and he was about to do it, but he didn't do it because God told him don't do it. Basically, he was just
no,
about
no,
to
no.
do
I'm
it.
talking about no, no. That was one instance of that, but I'm talking
Mhm.
about a couple different passages where God clearly demands the offering of the firstborn to Him.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. So this is the reason. Is because you're more focused on living this life on the earth. That's what it is. You're more focused on living this life on the earth when it's not about living just this life on the earth. You know, it's just a test to see if we get to go live in heaven for eternity, because that's never ending.
Okay.
I'm just saying, that's the that's where our separate opinions come in at, because you are worried about you being able to go to the grocery store, you being able to do your smoking, you being able to talk on these platforms, and being able to do it. When one day it's not gonna be like this. After you go at rest and
Yeah, one
Jesus
day I'll
come
be
back.
dead.
Say it again.
I said, yeah, one day I'll be dead.
But when Jesus come back, your soul will be risen and you will be judged.
Okay.
But that's
I got some
eternal.
judgment for this
That's
God in the
never
meantime.
ending, though. Say it again.
I said, I got some judgment for this God in the meantime.
Okay. All right,
I
man.
mean, I don't know
Well,
how you can argue this God isn't doing evil stuff unless you just don't know what evil is.
man. Well, what I can say is, man, like I said, I really can't comment on the decisions that he made because I don't know why he made them. He don't
Because you
explain
know
why he
they're
made
evil.
them, but he don't explain why he made them. I don't know
He
why he
does.
made them.
It does explain it.
Oh, okay. I mean, I hear you, man. When
He
you telling
says
me these
why he's doing
things,
the things that he's doing.
okay, for sure, for sure. But I don't know why he made the decisions he made. You know what I'm saying? I really
It
don't.
tells you why if you read it.
Man, I did read it, but just because it say that specifically, it's still other underlying
Just
reasons.
because
You
it
get what I'm
gives you the
saying?
reason he's doing those things doesn't mean that's actually the reason. Like, what do
But
you
it's
don't
other
understand?
underlying reasons, and just like I told you that the devil is on the earth also, so he's going to do things that's not good. You got to understand that it's not just
I'm
good
not
on the
concerned
earth.
with the devil. I'm concerned with what God's doing, and I'm concerned with the reasons he's doing them. And it gives you the reasons that he's doing this thing. He uses people for his own glorification and then punishes them for having been used by him. Like, that's evil.
Okay, I
Yeah.
got you, man. I got you, man. I don't want to take up too much time on your platform, man. I mean, I just feel like we going in circles. We still gonna disagree. Just being honest. I still believe that Jesus Christ is God. He will be back to judge everyone, and wherever we go is gonna be for eternal. So I still believe that, man. And being on here talking to you, I just could pray that you come to a different understanding and you build a better relationship with him.
But
Majority of people that don't believe in God is because they wish that he wasn't God because of the things that he tell you should and shouldn't do. He actually contradict the life that you're trying to live. So
yeah, he tells you what you should do is throw rocks at people who entice you to other gods or say they're going to other gods uh, until they're unalived, is what God tells you to do. Do you keep God's laws?
say it again.
Do you keep God's laws?
Yes, I keep it. His laws and decrees for sure.
So when somebody entices you to other gods, you throw rocks at them until they're unalived, like God ordered you to.
Are you? How can I throw a rock at you?
Well, if somebody around you did it,
Yeah, but they don't. That's the difference. I
what if
mean,
they
people
did?
don't, huh?
What if they did?
Yeah, man. I would just give them my best insight and then move forward, man. It,
Well, God
I,
gives you orders of what to do with someone if they entice you to other gods.
that's not true. Jesus didn't even do that.
It is true.
Jesus didn't even do that, man. Come on, come on. You trying to add to it? Come on. Jesus didn't
I'm
even do
not
that.
adding anything. This is what God
Jesus did
orders.
not throw rocks at anyone. Come on, man. Come on
I
now.
didn't say Jesus did. I said
All right
God
then.
ordered
So
you
that's
to
what we
throw
go
rocks at
by.
people
The
if they
life,
entice you
the,
to other gods.
the life Jesus lived.
So never
Hey,
mind what God says. It's about what Jesus says. Is that what you're saying?
say, man. Bro, listen. God sent Jesus on the earth in the flesh to be able to walk the life that we supposed to walk.
Well, Jesus said you have to keep these commands to get to God, and God commands you to throw rocks at people until they unalive if they entice you to other gods. You want me to read it
Okay,
to you?
why didn't Jesus throw rocks at people?
I don't know that he didn't.
Oh my goodness. Okay, man.
He chastised the Pharisees for not putting their disobedient children, to death as per the law of Moses requires.
Okay, when you say chastise, what does that mean to you?
It means he got on to them. He reprimanded them
That doesn't mean he slapped them, punched them, kicked them. He got on to them. That could be with words.
for not putting disobedient children to unalivement.
Listen, the Pharisees was disobedient.
I know. They weren't keeping the law of Moses. The
Yeah,
law of Moses says you put disobedient children to death.
listen. Matthew 18:6. Correct? Matthew 18:6 saying it says you better off tying a rope around your neck with putting a millstone in the end and throwing it in the sea rather than leading his young followers away from him.
And in Matthew 15, he says, for God said, honor your father and your mother. Whoever speaks evil of father and mother must surely die.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think kids who speak evil of father and mother should be put to death?
Like I told you, do I think me personally?
Yeah.
Tell you the truth, no, but he's not always.
Well,
You gotta understand that.
congratulations. You're far more moral than Jesus and God are.
Yeah, I feel you, but listen to this. It's not always literal. That's what you gotta understand. It's not
That is
always
literal.
literal.
It's a literal law.
Okay.
It is.
Well, I got you, man. Well, like I
It's
said,
in
man.
Deuteronomy and Exodus. In Exodus 21, verse 17, it says, whoever curses father and mother shall be put to death. Whoever strikes father and mother shall be put to death.
Hey, Rita. Just move on, man. It's all good. They're gonna, the devil know the Bible just as much as God do, man. So you can't sit there just because you could quote the Bible.
Hey, what happened? I don't know. You got muted for some reason. I don't know why. You'll have to. Here, I don't know what happened there, man. Sorry.
That's why when God flooded the earth, only 8 people got saved. That's exactly why, because the majority of people is going to go against everything that He put here before we was. This is
So,
not our earth. We can't go by our rules.
so
We
did the
definitely
devil
got free
write in the
will for
Bible here
sure.
that says whoever curses father and mother shall be put to death? Or did God dictate that to Moses?
All right, man. I just feel like we going just back and forth, man. I keep telling
We
you
are.
that I can't tell
I
God what
read
to do
I
because it's
read
not.
something that God dictated to Moses, and you said the devil can read the Bible.
Yeah, but listen to this. We also supposed to obey the laws of the land. Okay.
The
So
laws
if
that
you live
God gave,
it,
right?
but listen, you're supposed to obey the laws of the land. The land, sir. The land, sir. Come on, man. I just feel
Are
like
you
I'm,
supposed
I'm
to
beating
obey
a
the
dead
laws of
horse,
God?
bro. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, bro. Like,
I do too.
listen, you're supposed to obey the laws of the land. Wherever you live, I guarantee you can't just unalive somebody without having, going to jail.
Yeah,
So
I
that
know.
is
I'm
against the
glad I
law.
live in a country where this stuff is illegal and we don't live under the code of God, because that would be an awful, awful society to live in.
Well, listen, the Bible also tell us obey the laws of the land. The laws of the land is where you're not supposed to do that. So, I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. I don't know what
So
else you
God
want
gives
me
a
to
bunch of
say to that.
laws in the Bible, but also says, but don't follow these if you live in a country where the laws are against it.
So I have a question. What country is that okay in?
It's not okay in any country I know of, except perhaps the
Okay,
Middle
then.
Eastern
Okay,
Christians.
so the laws of the land, you can't go against that. You can't go against that, man. The laws of the land, you can't go against that.
I'm saying, where in the Bible does it say, hey, here's a bunch of laws God wants you to keep, but if you live in a country that don't allow these, don't do it?
All right, man. Well, listen, I'm gonna let you have a good day, man. Have a good day, man.
Have a good one, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Back at you, Rich. Yeah, thanks for coming up. Got a little somewhere. Goodness. Let me see. Oh my goodness, what's happening? Try. Jackson. Jackson? I'm talking to Jackson. Jackson found. Who is? Oh, that's the one. Alright, yeah. Yeah, Rita, come on up. Just hit that little request box there. I said Vine, so I'm sorry. Oh, Vine Reborn. Vine Reborn. What's Yeah, I don't know what's happening, Vine Reborn. You're not loading in for some reason. Who just said that? Chase, I went to bring you up, but it just dropped you for some reason. Maybe you had a really bad signal or something. But if you want to request back up. I'll still talk to you for a minute. If you want to holler at us. Yeah, the keys. Oh, here we go. My bad. My bad, Chase. I didn't see it. Sorry, man. Oh, there you go. Chase, are you there?
Can you?
Yeah, can you turn the music down or get away from the music?
Yeah, give me a second.
Well, shit, he turned it up.
Now my music, my music took over some.
Oh, no worries. So, are you over 18, Chase? Oh, it's teacup. Might have a really bad signal.
All right, you there? Yeah, I'm 38, sir.
Okay, cool. Are you one of the Christians?
Yeah. I don't practice, probably like I should, but I was raised Baptist, and I consider myself to be a Christian. Absolutely. I really just wanted to kind of touch base on the previous kind of conversation you guys were having about the law. You were specifying like the taking or the unaliving of children, and I think it might have been a little bit out of context. Like it's not specifically children per se. It's obviously, not talking about minor children in terms of, or just isolated to minor children.
Where does it make that distinguishment?
Well, I mean, I think just historically they've been able to look and see that it's more about, like, we are obviously our parents' children. So, like, if I got to my teen years or into my, later teens and was still, gluttonous, or going against, like he mentioned, the laws of the land and continuously, kind of poisoning the culture around you. I think that's specifically more what it was going for, is kind of maintaining society in general. Not just like, oh, mom made me mad today, so I said, oh, I hate you. And
I mean, maybe, but it doesn't say that.
I mean, it doesn't specify it, right? Yeah, but just
That's
like
what
it
I'm saying.
doesn't.
So to me, that leaves a really big problem. I would think if you're going to say, hey, let's put children to unalivement if they curse father or mother, maybe put an age limit. some
Well, I guess
context to it. It doesn't do anything.
yeah, I mean, I guess you could, but
if you curse
but I
father
also,
and mother, you shall die.
right. I think that kind of also goes back to just like how we kind of practice our normal laws now. You know what I mean? There's kind of just a common, hopefully, a common sense moral standard of, okay, if a unknowledgeable minor child, you know, is out having outbursts or whatnot, we probably ought to not just throw them off a cliff. You know what I mean? Like they're young.
Probably
That's
not.
pretty. I would
In
think
fact,
that would be.
I don't even think
You know
an
what I mean?
adult
Right.
child deserves to be put to unalignment for being rebellious to their parents.
So I guess in that context, you know, you got to look at it like, I mean, we put people to death or unalive people for obviously various crimes in society. But if someone's doing
Like
something that's
gluttony?
going to corrupt, right? So if someone's doing something that's going to impact society as a whole, right? Not just themselves, but they're kind of, you know, they're just so rebellious that they're actually bringing those around them down as well. At what point, you don't think at some point it would be beneficial to step in and say, okay, like these people are corrupting the
Let's
society?
throw
I mean,
rocks at them until they die.
well, I mean, but if the result to not society as a whole, would it not be worth it? Sorry,
No.
can you hear me now?
No, I can't think of a single instance somebody's gluttonous and rebellious enough to have rocks thrown at them until they unalive. In fact, that's strictly forbidden in the U.S. Constitution. We don't allow cruel or unusual punishments.
Well, right, and then the other thing that I would probably say from my standpoint is that was a specific law back then. You know, I don't think it was. I mean, again, it doesn't specify, but in my term, I don't know that was a law that I would say was supposed to withstand for all time. You know what I mean? It was already a conditioned law back in those
Yeah.
that time
Right.
frame. You know,
You've read the Old Testament, haven't you?
not front to back, no sir. I have not.
Well, God
read
explicitly
pieces
says himself in the Old Testament, he says, keeping these laws, statutes, and ordinances are what's doing good and right in my sight. They are not too hard or far away from you. You will not add to them or take away, and you will keep them all the days that you live on the earth. Every single one of them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, and you know, and that's, again, that was my opinion, was like kind of, you know, as society develops, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'm just telling you. God said these laws are for all the days you live on the earth.
Right. And I mean, again, I think in the context, if I was to say, you know, that child specifically was going to corrupt civilization, as much as I wouldn't want to do that.
How can you tell a child's going to corrupt civilization by being rebellious?
And again, when I mean child, I mean more like not like a 7-year-old.
Well, I mean,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
well, I mean, that's fine, but
You know, one
but, I
that's
mean,
able,
whatever, anybody, like,
right? One that's able to. I mean, it's the same thing now. You have like terrorist organizations. You have different, you know, people out there that breed hate. And I mean, if someone's clearly pretty well, now again, people can change, but if they're pretty well ingrained in their ways and their philosophy is evil to any moral standard, I mean, really, do we have space for that in the world at all? Really? I mean, we have all this stuff going on in the United States specifically, you know, with different racial biases and stuff like that. And we don't have to get on any of those topics, but just, is there really any room for it at all? If we could just get rid of those people, I mean, I would say, you know, heck yeah. You know what I mean? If you could just snap your fingers and, I mean, I do believe there's a time and a place. I'm also a soldier, you know, so, you know, I definitely have a different viewpoint towards violence than a lot of people, which is a struggle I've had even as a Christian.
You said you're a Christian, though, didn't you?
Correct. Yeah, but I believe that, you know, there's a
according
time
to
and a
Jesus,
place.
you're not supposed to be doing any violence at all. You're never supposed to resist an evildoer, as a matter of fact.
Well, I mean, I agree with you to an extent, but I also think that there's context in that. I mean, the Bible and God also speaks a lot about war and fighting and different times when there is a time to take up.
Oh, yeah. If you're listening to God, you're good to go as a soldier. In fact, you can take slaves and sex slaves, including child sex slaves and war plunder, all kinds of stuff. That's all.
Well, I don't think that I'd go down that road, but, you know, I get what you're saying.
God says it's fine if you do.
I mean, Okay, you said child sex slaves. I guess specifically, what are you referencing? And where did you come up with?
Representing children as child sex slaves.
And what? I guess what verse are you?
Moses takes some of himself in Deuteronomy or Numbers 31, and I'll read you here. Let's just read the rules of warfare real quick. All right, it says when you draw near to a town to fight against it, offer it terms. Well, that's where Moses takes child sex slaves. You want to read that one?
Okay. No. You can read me the laws of war. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do one then the other. It don't matter. All right. It says, so when you draw near to a town to fight against it, offer it terms of peace. If it accepts your terms of peace and surrenders to you, then all the people in it shall serve you at forced labor. So it's basically saying if they surrender, they're all slaves. So if it does not accept your terms of peace and makes war against you, then you shall besiege it. And when the Lord your God gives it into your hand, you shall put all its males to the sword. You may, however, take as your plunder the women, the children, the livestock, and everything else in the town, all its spoil. You may enjoy the spoil of your enemies, which the Lord your God has given you. Thus you shall treat all the towns that are very far from you, which are not towns of these nations here. But as for the towns of these peoples that the Lord your God has given you as an inheritance, you must not let anything that breathes remain alive. Indeed, you shall annihilate them. The Hittites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, and a whole bunch of people, as the Lord your God has commanded. It's great and loving, merciful sounding stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, so well, I guess in context you have to look at different elements, right? So as far as the slaves and taking the women and stuff goes, I mean, you're talking about a time when, nowadays reproduction and things of those nature, they're not as, I mean, they're important, right? But keep in mind, back then, having children and being able to reproduce and having, multiple wives and all that stuff, it was super important for the economy, for, just life in general. I mean, now, you could adopt children. There's a lot of different options, as far as kind of continuing the bloodline. Now, if you get into purity and all that.
This is what God told them to do all the days they live on the earth.
Right. And so, well, even in that terms, you got to think about it like when he talks about killing and stuff, annihilating them all. Again, we go back to purifying
everything that breathes.
Right. So if you leave contestant, right, like it's just like Afghanistan, if it sounds bad, but it's the truth. So if we go over and fight a war there and you leave uncontested people alive that eventually are already the son of your enemy, eventually they will come back for blood. And if you let that in your society.
Yeah, so you got to, obviously the babies have got to go, right?
Again, if you take it in terms of just blanket it, yes. In reality, you would have to do something of that nature because, again, you would then leave it open. And now, is that morally sound great? No, but the flip side is at some point, 20 years, 50 years down the road, whenever these individuals come of age of combatant age, you might have a problem on your hands. It's the same reason, local Indian tribes used to take the women as slaves here and different elements, Native Americans, it sucks, right? And it's not how I guess we would like things, but it is, the way of the world. Like,
that's how God would like things, yeah.
I think it's in terms of the times when there was a lot of conquering, a lot of shift change in.
Yeah, and it says, suppose you see a beautiful girl among the captives whom you like and want to marry. Do you know what God says you can do?
Oh, I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Well, I was just assuming you might know.
No.
Spare me the pain of having to say it out loud.
I would imagine, and you could just take her as your wife against her will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After you let her mourn her mother and father, whom you've just slaughtered for 30 days.
Yeah.
After that, you may go into her, which is great. And here's what, just for shits and giggles, here's what Moses did in Numbers 31. It says, Moses said to them, have you allowed all the women to live? These women here on Balaam's advice made the Israelites act treacherously against the Lord in the affair of Peor, so that the plague came among the congregation of the Lord. Now, therefore, unalive every male among the little ones, and unalive every woman who has not known a man by sleeping with him. But all the young girls who have not known a man by sleeping with him, keep alive for yourselves. What do you think that means?
I mean, it pretty much sums it up there. He said, taking
It
them
absolutely does.
right. Again, I don't.
Is this the guy we're supposed to look up to? Like, this is supposed to be the great and wonderful prophet of the Lord, the guy taking child virgin sex slaves?
So right now, I personally obviously don't believe in that's right. I'm not going to touch a child. Period.
Yeah, but you're worshiping a God who this is absolutely acceptable to.
Right. So I mean, again, I think you're also talking about. I mean, there's tons of stuff that you can go back in time and look at the time.
Yeah,
when
but this is supposed to be an all-loving, all-knowing, all-powerful God, though.
And again, we're also talking about us trying to interpret his mental state and how he, we're not God. You know what I mean? I can't explain every single thing in the Bible, and if I could, I would be God. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Is there any way at all to twist that Moses story into something positive?
I mean, not from my perspective, probably not. But again, that's a man.
You can't even think of a single hypothetical reason why this could be okay. Like, I don't think you should accept this as okay.
Yeah, I'm sure if I sat down, I'm sure I could come up with one scenario where maybe. But even then, again, I can't think of one off the top of my head. There probably isn't one. I mean, I can't see a situation when I would do that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. If I can sit here and wrap off situations like this all day in the Bible, like, there's a problem here.
Right.
You can't justify the evils that's going on here, and we know full well this is evil because it's never not evil to take a child as a sex slave after you've slaughtered their parents.
Right. So okay, let's just do this. Like, I'll play devil's advocate a little bit, but like, if it's just so blatantly wrong, right? Why would we now, like in today's age, we're having this conversation? And religion survived this long. It's been so treacherous for so long, but yet many intellects before us never sat down and came to the conclusions that you're at and just said, this crap's really bad. Like, why does it still exist? Why is it, I mean? I would think as evil as it is.
Why it still exists?
Here, go for it.
Because people don't care. They worship the God anyway.
I mean, to an extent, I guess that might be true, but can you really grasp it lasting? But it lasting that long?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Islam's been around for 1,400 years.
Yeah, I agree. And Islam's got a lot of wicked stuff in it as well. You know what I mean? Suckling on the tongue of, like, there's all kinds of crazy. But
it can get kind of complicated, but I mean, ultimately, This is stuck around because people develop their own ideas about it. They don't actually know what's going on. Most people haven't even read the Bible. They don't know what's going on here. Sure. They have an idea that they've been given about God that they think is true, but they don't even know what's really going on here. And then when you read them stuff like these atrocities that God is commanding to happen, they're just like, that's just God being God, I'm sure it wouldn't happen to me.
Oh, no. I have no doubt that, if we were in a time where he was still, putting these words, this doctrine into action. You know what I mean? We would all be in probably in some serious trouble.
Unfortunately, this God's imaginary. So,
well, yeah, and that's your standpoint. So obviously, there would be no fear. But I was just saying that obviously, if that was the case, we would all be in trouble. But that's kind of the point of sin and its inherent nature, though. You know what I mean? Is that we're all kind of up shit creek to begin with anyhow,
According to the New Testament, not according to the Old.
Right. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not, obviously educated or, knowledgeable enough to sit there and debate every little intricacy of the words and how it comes down. Yes, I get where you're coming from. I just, like I said, I wanted to hammer just more on the context of, like, the laws at the time that it took place, more historical than I guess biblical. But as far as
and that's fine. I get that. The problem is that God explicitly says these laws are for everyone who will obey them, and they are for all the days you live on the earth. There's no He doesn't say these are going to end one day when this other dude I'm sending comes along and dies in Rome in the first century. He never says that. He says these laws are for all the days you live on this earth.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I mean, I've seen obviously tons of bad, wicked stuff in the world, whether it was in my time in the military or just, everybody does to an extent. Obviously, some of us get our eyes opened a little more than, preferable even, but, we do just as much nasty stuff as a race. You know what I mean? As a population, like we do, if not worse.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Justify atrocities with stuff like this.
I mean, but do you think so you're saying that you're, I mean, not all, right? But you're saying that you think the basis for a lot of these actions from people, they justify it with religion?
Absolutely.
I mean,
I think religion is almost solely responsible for almost all these atrocities through history.
there's a lot
Have you ever heard the term manifest destiny?
Right. There are, there are a lot that are. I will say that. You are correct.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a lot of wars and different elements that have been based on.
I mean, slavery was literally allowed in the antebellum South, justified on this book. It was a God-given right to own slaves, according to the president of the Confederacy.
I don't know that they sat down and said, we're going to do this because the Bible says so. I think maybe when the argument came up.
That's exactly why.
I mean, they did it for economic purposes.
Well, sure, they did it for their own game. This is how they justified it, is what I'm saying. Like, he literally just read Leviticus 25 out loud in front of a whole bunch of people, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, God's okay with it. Well, sure.
Right. I mean,
And then they passed laws that made it sound as humanitarian as they could, even though nobody actually kept a single one of those.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, they passed laws. I mean, they got laws on paper that, obviously are as wicked as the next crime. You know what I mean? And they have.
Well, I'm saying they tried to make it sound better. Like in Georgia, they had a law that said if you deprive a slave of life or limb, you're going to get the same punishment as if it was a free white man you did it to. But in reality, even though that was a law, it was never enforced. Nobody cared. It was simply there to make it look better.
Right, to go
to anybody on the outside, yeah.
Right, gaslight you into thinking that they were doing something about it. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree completely. Like, that kind of stuff, there was plenty of wickedness going on and plenty of, ways to hide it and try to disguise it and wrap it up.
But it was clearly justified with this book.
Well, okay, so I guess in your sense, you're saying let's just get rid of it, like the books, everything, just
it's dangerous.
Delete it all from life. And you
have you been listening for a while?
I have watched you. Honestly, I do. I do like your page, even though I'm not necessarily on the same side as you. I watched it. I probably watched you off and on for a few weeks now. So. Yeah, I have. Not a long time.
I was just curious if you heard the guy that was on before the other guy.
Oh, not today. No, I got out of the gym and I just caught that second to last guy. So.
Oh, well, holy shit. Well, go back.
Yeah.
I'm going to have this replay on my YouTube channel before long.
Absolutely.
Go back and watch that guy who I talked to for a while beforehand.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do.
Give you a little insight into the mind frame that can develop over these doctrines.
Yeah, and I try to jump in, kind of haphazardly. If I ever come up again next time, I'll have a little more preparation and we can kind of go deeper. You know what I mean? And really, I guess, fire off. But no, you definitely are a smart guy. Like I said, I've watched enough to kind of hear you talk and different things. So you're intelligent as hell. But yeah, but so it would be fun. But again, I think a lot of it, people justify hate and they justify bad, with just about anything. And we can jump onto that later, but that's kind of what I was getting at, as you say, okay, so we get rid of religion. I just feel like it would be backfilled, with something else.
If I wanted to justify slavery to a Christian nation, what would be the best way to do that?
Well, right. If you're, apply to what they believe, apply to their God. Yeah.
Our God we worship and love and exonerate says we can have slaves.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with you. Like in terms of tactics wise, that's the best way to do it. Hit them in what they care about. You know what I mean? We do it all the time in different ways, but yeah.
So why not get rid of something that says you can own people as property? and beat them,
Right. Right.
even children.
Yeah, again, I get what you're saying. I don't personally obviously agree with that. I don't, never owned a slave. Never,
Most Christians don't.
Never,
I get
yeah,
that. Most
never
Christians
would.
don't even know this stuff's in here. The ones that do think it means indentured servitude and stuff like that. So I get that.
Right.
The
Well,
problem is,
I don't agree with that. I mean,
I talk to people every day, like that guy who was up here earlier, and they come up here and clearly say, if God says it's okay, it's fucking okay.
well, that's crazy.
That is not good.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's pretty crazy. I mean,
but they're being biblically accurate.
I mean, yeah, right. I guess, in terms of the verbiage, yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, I don't think that it's encompassing. Plus, my personal belief, I've had my own questions, and not necessarily with my faith as far as being a Christian, but in terms of the doctrine and the Bible as it's presented. It's been so long since this stuff was written. Even the King James Version itself is an obvious adulterated, document from, he
Yeah, but it's like you said, why has it lasted this long?
Right. He had it rewritten in order to fit kind of what he wanted and the times, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of that stuff that I personally have had questions with, and that's probably why I don't necessarily go to church every Sunday or, practice the way that most Christians would. But I would still define myself as one, obviously, because of my core belief system. But so I agree with that. I just don't, and that's where I kind of get into the sloppiness of what truly is being conveyed, just because of the time frame and the length of time and how many times it's been stomped on. Does it truly say that? Did it originally? Was it supposed to say that? I'll never.
It definitely says that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I'll let you be. Let somebody else jump up here, and maybe you can finish out with a little different conversation or whatnot. But I appreciate your time, brother. You have a good day, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Read up on something, study something, whatever you want to study really, really hard, and then come back when you feel like you're like, I got this done this time.
All right. Sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming up.
You too.
Chase. Sir.
Yeah. Have a good one. Bye.
You too, man. All right, guys. Y'all know that our best friend on the channel here is Dr. Joshua Bowen, and he sells lots of awesome books like this for you and me, and I have been learning ancient Hebrew, volume 1. You can purchase this yourself and support our best friend, Dr. Josh, and his wonderful family. And I still got a long way to go. Rocket City Reason Conference, Huntsville, Alabama, this October. A Solid Godless was on earlier. He said Pinkbeard's going to be there, so that's freaking awesome. So Huntsville, Alabama, October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. It's going down. And be there or be square, because there's going to be some of the biggest names that you all love out here in the atheist world, all going to be hanging out, and it's going to be awesome. I got my ticket, and I will be there. And it's going to be cool as shit. Also, don't forget, I have a YouTube channel that is also Apostate Ape. I put these replays up there every day. Throw me a little support, please. Subscribe to my channel over there, and you can check out the replays. I hear you, Glitch. Yeah, I hear you. But anyway, guys, I'm going to have to jump off. This was episode 104, I believe now. Episode 104 today. And once again, I appreciate the shit out of everybody being here, all the engagement. Let's see, it was a really good live, almost 3 hours. Weird, of course, the algorithm's still weird, but hell, it worked out good. Had another good show. Just takes us a minute to, like I said, you gotta rub it, put a little jelly on it, get it warmed up, get it moving. But it gets moving, yeah. Then it kind of tuckers out again. Then it don't, then it does, then it don't, then it does. But, that's the world of TikTok. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. About to go head to work for the day. And I will be back tomorrow for episode 105. Like I said, I'm going to do minimum Monday through Friday. At least I'm going to aim for that. Of course, something will come up every now and then where I won't be able to make it. But I'm going to do Sundays, too, as long as I can get up early. If I can be started by 7 or so a.m. Central Time on Sundays, I'm going to do Sundays as well. But I might take off Saturdays for the most part, unless I'm just up and feel like it. Then sometime I'll do it. But I can only listen to people tell me slavery and baby bashing and grapes okay so many times a day before I start getting a little burnout. So that's about it. But anyway, guys, much love to everybody. Thank you all again for coming. Thank you all for the engagement. The channel is still blowing up. It's awesome. I love it. I love you all. And we will see y'all back tomorrow morning for the next one. Have a good one, guys. Much love.